What's going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Oh, let me do this little banner here. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Today we got a lot of news. We got some game trailers, but they're all game trailers you've seen. I think maybe except for one. We got a lot of news, and it seems like the news just keeps coming in. You know what I mean? So like today, I was pretty sure I had the show on Monday, and then Tuesday something came in, Wednesday something came in, and then today something came in. So we're going to talk about that. And then again, at the end of this stream, we're going to do what we've been doing. And I'm going to relabel those. A couple of y'all responded were like, Purple, you need to relabel your members only stream. So we're going to be doing the thing where we do a members only one. Well, you know, it might be 15 minutes, might be 25, might be an hour. And that's where we may talk about a little bit more my opinions, more controversial stuff, you know, and my point of view on that. So we're going to do that again. So yeah, but how's everyone doing? Hey, FCat, hey, Cowboy. Okay. So they came over. Thanks for the rake, Cowboy. I know they were doing stuff. I'm here for Bad Take Thursday. Okay, Jeff, well, you know, you always come. But hey, FCat, hey, Cowboy, hey, Wit. Yeah, but we got a lot to talk about. The big news, and as always, I'm going to break things down. I'm going to explain some of this you all may already know, like how the mechanisms work, but I'm going to be explaining a couple of things. I don't think any of the news is particularly new per se, but I am gonna like take a second to just like reflect on everything that's going on, because there's a lot of big moves going on in gaming. And some of those moves relate to other big moves. And if you've been listening to me or following me for any time over the last 2 years, you would know some of this. We called on this channel quite a while ago and took a lot of heat for that. But with that said, hopefully everyone's doing well. To get things kicked off, Grant will be joining shortly too. Oh, cool. That's super cool. So to get things kicked off, you know, this trailer is, this next trailer is specifically for, we're going to start with a trailer. Then we're going to talk about some stuff, then do another trailer, talk about some stuff, then do one of my favorite trailers, talk about some stuff and open it up. But with that, this trailer is specifically for Ambi and specifically for Zalik. Okay. Because if you've been watching the Zalik streams, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is for both of them. They've been waiting a while for this. They've been clearing out their backlog just for this. So I'm super happy for them. I think both of them are like deep in, are like listening to this. I know for a fact Ambi is probably playing and listening at the same time. But here we go. I know a lot of people are excited. And yeah, I'm gonna 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Find every last member of the Yote Six, and I will bring you peace. I swear it.
Creatures such as you and I cannot resist the call of revenge.
I found something new to live for.
PlayStation.
So that was Ghosts of Yote. I think I also forgot Mel. If you haven't been seeing, Mel posted a picture of, I think he got like the Ghosts of Yote PS5 version. I mean, like crazy stuff's going on. People really are into that. I'll be the first to say, or the second, or the third. Ghost of Tsushima had some issues with the story and with the game controllers, but a lot of people who have the same criticism who've been playing this game or who've rated this game have said they fixed some of that stuff. So who knows? Maybe I'll jump into it eventually. But Ghost of Yote came out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Around midnight, I think. I don't know. It came out sometime like that. And yeah, I know a lot of you are super excited about it and they're playing it. And like I say, as long as people are playing games that they like, I got to be happy for them. But that is Ghost of Yote. It's finally out. Big kudos to the PlayStation team, as well as everybody who's been waiting for it. So yeah, we're gonna have to. I think Ambi even is getting the collector's edition of the game. I don't know. They're going all out for that thing. So yeah, but I agree. The world looks. Oh, Robolica, you would probably like it too. Robolica might probably get this on PC. I would imagine. So yeah, they say it looks gorgeous. They say it's super fun. And yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. What can I say? I'm not gonna lie. It looks cool, right? So if y'all want to talk about it, go ahead. I know Ambi has it. Zalek has it. I think Mel, if he comes through, he has it. So a lot of y'all knock yourselves out. Knock yourselves out. So with that, where do y'all want to start? Let's start off with some light stuff because we're definitely gonna hit. I think in there I talk about Luna, I talk about EA, I talk about Game Pass. I think, and then we got some new news in here. So let's do this. We're gonna start with Game Pass, then we're gonna go to EA because EA is probably like a more deeper topic. I want to get into a lot of things. But yeah, so let's start with this first one. You already know it. You already know it came up, right? Game Pass price hike, the Ultimate Edition, $30. Neos is saying he's chilling with his $16 Game Pass. Core remains the same. So let's look at what comes out here. Ultimate, $30. You saw that right there on the right-hand side. Middle tier, $14.99. And then in the core one, the essentials, which is when I play Orcs Must Die, that's the one I use. That's online play and a couple of other things. $9.99. So biggest price increase in here. There was a price increase to the PC Game Pass that's not being shown here. But obviously the biggest one is that $29.99 on the right hand side. A lot of people are upset about this. I still think it's a solid value. Like if you use it, I'll continue to say, if you're into having a lot of games at your fingertips, like $30 per month is still a decent value. I don't think it's a decent value for everyone. I'll be very honest there. And the bigger thing I want to talk about is just in general. We set this, right? Like I think back in April and May, we had a whole show about Xbox and Game Pass, and when we heard about layoffs, right? We talked about it also when we heard that the game Contraband was being canceled. We're going to be talking about that in a second. When we heard, Doc Dark's game Perfect Dark was being canceled, we talked about this, and the biggest thing about it. And I said this at the time, right? I said this at the time of ABK, that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Xbox going forward to really raise revenue, right? And to cut costs. Because that is a big purchase. We're going to be talking about another big purchase here in a second. And if you're seeing, and I continue to say, I don't think we're done. I think the only prediction that has not come, and I think it's going to come in the next 12 months, is Phil Spencer stepping down. Like, I think there's a totally different cadre involved now. I think this sucks. Like, $30 is a lot. Like, right? I'm not going to lie. Like, if you ask me Netflix at 30, Netflix is already expensive for my household, but that's a household, right? You're saying like Game Pass as one at 30. I don't game that much. I'm like, that's just me. I know Rouster does. I think a couple of y'all also play a lot, but I don't personally. I have PC and Steam. Yeah, I think I just jack of all trades. What's going on? The biggest winners are Fortnite paid subscribers. Is that the biggest winner? $30? Is that who it is? I don't know. That's a lot. Isn't there a PC option too? There is. There is. It went up too. Like I said, it went up too. But still, I don't game this much. Like I just don't. I think once you're getting to $30, you're getting very close to like kind of the price range I usually buy games at anyway. I wouldn't be surprised, they've already come back on a couple of price increase, right? Most recently, they came back on whatever that game they were trying to sell for 70, they came down to 60. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case here, but you already know they're pushing. Like there's pressure to push at this range. And anybody who doesn't think, I think the other thing I said was, I think I made a video about it, right? No more first party Xbox hardware. I think that one, I don't know how to tell y'all. Like, I think if you can't see it now, you're just not gonna see it. And that's the thing. Like, this is. Do I think it's gonna go higher than this? No, I don't think it's gonna go higher than this for a second. I'd be very surprised about that. But yeah, it just. I don't know. I would have to think, would this still happen without the ABK deal? That's the question that, like, would this still happen without ABK and without Bethesda? Because last year I was telling you, like, I thought a lot of the issues that were going on, Outer Worlds 2 thinks wit is less more than new pricing. Old Game Pass plus, okay. Well, if you like Fortnite, go for it. Go for it. And I think that's a huge player base. I actually have a video out there right now, or I haven't posted it, about Xbox's big mistake. I haven't posted it though. Like it's all done. It's all thumbnails done, editing's done. But yeah, I think. I continue to think their big purchases are not paying out, are planning out the way they should. And the first one is Bethesda. Like everybody, ABK takes the the big shiny thing, but Bethesda's like the first one that I think hasn't been panning out, and that just puts so much more pressure on ABK. I think you're going to see more layoffs. We're about to talk about more of those here in a second. But I don't know. I mean, some of y'all have Game Pass. I think most of y'all are saying, hey, I'm glad you have PC Game Pass. That's going to go up. Like, that one's going to go up more. I'm almost positive of that. Like, as they push more people from console to PC, because I think that's always been their strategy. I think you're going to see that one eventually get squeezed too. I think Core or Essential is eventually going to rise up too. But that's the reality. It's the reality. It's when you spend that much money, it's no longer about games. Let me just tell you like that. They're other people are in charge and they're not gamers. I saw now while watching Prime a few days ago that you can play Xbox on Fire TVs and Fire Sticks. Yes. But you have to have your subscription. So if you have the subscription, you can. I think you can play Xbox maybe on Google. I mean, you can play Xbox or Game Pass on Samsung TVs. So there is that. That is possible. Yes, they're putting it everywhere. So yeah, if you use it, go for it. Go for it. If you use it, I'm totally 100% like, this is still a value for some gamers. I think there's a point that this no longer becomes a value. And I don't know. So I don't know. I'm going back to renting my body so I can keep gaming. I'm going back to renting your body. What is this? What is this sci-fi tagline you're using? Will the price increase outpace the reduction in number of people since quite a few are canceling? So Pat Piscatella, he's like the one who usually has information about game sales and stuff. He and I had a back and forth. I don't know. We had a back and forth about 7 months ago. I feel honored that he would respond back to me, but he did. He actually responds back to me every single time. He's a subscriber of the show too. I did not know that. He told me that. But Matt Piscatella, when they announced the player increase for Call of Duty and how many more people had started playing Game Pass versus buying the game. What I talked to, I responded because he had like this whole eloquent like paragraph. I should go look it up. But he had this whole like paragraph, and I was like, it's like, okay, it's price elasticity, which means like there's like this kind of break even point from the number of, like, if you drop the price and you get more players, it actually equates to if you increase the price and there's a decrease of players. There's this point of price elasticity that you are trying to maximize profit on. Going up 50%, I think is going to be very interesting because I don't think this actually includes Call of Duty. From what I understood, I don't think this includes that or the premium doesn't include it. You see that where it says like you'll get it within a year of launch. So that $30 for Call of Duty, that's the kicker now, right? Because you could almost argue that there's a lot of people on PC Game Pass who would be like, yo, okay, like I'm paying whatever, $13 a month. You play Call of Duty for 3 months. You spent $39 now and you're done, right? But when you now are putting PC Game Pass and you're putting that price up to $60 over 3 months, there's a question there on value. And they've already ran the numbers, I'm sure. I think I can only imagine what this argument looked like or this discussion looked like. But again, I don't think Xbox people are in charge anymore, right? And I've been saying that. I think as soon as that deal went through, Xbox gamers, Game Pass gamers, you're at the mercy of like corporate Microsoft overlords over there. And this should tell you how much pressure's on for them. If they added family household use to Game Pass, this maybe would feel better. Granted, I agree. That's why I said like even Netflix when they went up, like that comes with what, like 4 accounts? You know what I mean? And the average person watches more TV than games. That's not just Purple talking, right? That like you can look at like that's the average. You're now saying you're at the highest end. I don't think there's a subscription service higher than this unless you're talking about like full on YouTube TV or full on Roku. Like once you start getting to like, you get like 100 channels in something. I don't think there's something as high as this now. Which is weird because just like 3 years ago, this was like not even the case. You know what I mean? So, but that's not inflation. I'm telling you, that's not inflation. Like you told Doc, Xbox wants you to leave. I did. I'm not sure for sale. I'm not for sale, so I'm renting my body instead of selling it. Temporary services for a price. Jack, I don't know what sci-fi. Like I'm trying. My brain is racking. Like what's sci-fi doing? Neos, what are you saying? Taking. You're taking? Neos, is that it? Hey, Simpleton, what's going on? Simpleton just beat a pretty hard boss in Hollow Knight. GG, Simpleton. I'm downgrading my sub. Probably GPPC. Game Pass PC. Okay. I was like, what? Hey, Zaylik, we just did a shout out for you earlier. Goes to Yote. I know you're enjoying that one. Good morning as well. Yes. Hey, Obi. Hey, we were just talking about this. I think this one is. I don't know. Like, and as I told you all this like a few months ago. I don't like being right about Xbox. I don't like because that means like people are hurt. Like this is the same thing I say about politics. I don't like being right about politics. Like the same thing I said about the economy. Like when I did that whole private stream, I don't like being right because I'm like, yo, this is gonna suck for people. This is gonna really suck for people. So I think, yeah, a lot of people are going to cancel. I don't think there's any, I'll say it like this. I don't think there's an increase in subscriptions, right? Especially after you start to think about last week, we talked about the price increase to Xbox consoles, which I think is also crazy, right? I bought my Series S for like $220. And at the time I bought my Series S for $220, I think that came with like 6 months of Game Pass. It wasn't the year of Game Pass. But I think it came with 6 months of Game Pass. And now I look at that and say for basically 7 months of this, which that one I got at least the console and I can like buy game. Like, I don't know, man. And that was like 3 years ago. This is literally like 3 years ago that I bought that. So that's the price increase, man. I don't know. What do y'all think? Conspiracy. GameStop announced their car prices aren't going up. People are stocking up. Who was doing that? Rouster? Rouster did that, I think. People are stocking up old price cards and paying for 2 to 3 years upfront. Quick cash infusion for Microsoft. Is it? I don't know if it's is it quick cash infusion for Microsoft or is it quick cash infusion for GameStop? I don't know how cards work. I don't know how cards work. Like, I don't think that helps them, right? Because if you think about it, I don't know how those work. Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if that's already like if Microsoft already says like that's a debt. Like if we were thinking about accounting, I would have to ask Simpleton. Simpleton, how will we account for this? How would a gift card? I think is already like as a line item is a debit. No, they'll be back for COD. Will they? I hope. I hope. But I think like it's going to be interesting next July when we actually see the impact of this. I say July because that's when they'll report their earnings out. It's going to be really interesting to me. I have no idea. They got to raise a lot of revenue. That's all I know. They got to raise a lot of revenue. This has anything to do with positive. I think it's just corporate BS. This one? Why I didn't say this one's BS. This one's not politics. No, I was saying I don't like to be right about that one. I say stuff about politics though. That's what I'm saying. But they're all the same. They're all the same. If you don't think so. 2 years ago, every person knew what the Lena Khan, the head of FTC is. I guarantee you no one knows who the head of the FTC is right now. Every Xbox fan was like, Lena Khan, they called her every name under the sun. Everything she said came true. Price increases came true. Layoffs came true. Lack of innovation in IP gone. Everything she said true about this thing happened. But gamers are going to game, I guess. Or in this case, not so much. I did with Costco cars. Oh, nice. I did have 3+ years, but not with cards. Oh, someone bought a bunch of cards. Oh, Banana Killer. Banana Killer bought a ton with cards. Was it? It was when we did that interview. She said she had bought a lot. I don't know. There's someone who we did an interview around Banana Killer's interview. She was like, she had it like out till 2026. I tried to buy an old card on Amazon, but it broke and glitched. Now I need to contact Amazon. Yikes. Not a gift card. It's prepaid subscription. What's the difference on a line item? I agree. I don't know. I've never seen it. I figured back in 2010, if these corpos is corpos. Every time I see corpse, see you spending $1,000 for a PlayStation, they would try it again. Nah, it's more than that, man. It's more than that. You got to understand it's more than that. People think it's like all corporations. It's more than that. Like I don't know. We'll probably get more into it. But if you once you kind of like understand, you understand people who work for corporations, they work for the corporation, right? Like the people who own the corporation own the corporation. They're different. That's why there's certain people who do well in corporate and there's certain people who don't and start their own thing. Different tracks. We'll get more into that on the other show. I don't want to get too much into that right now. But yeah, that's the price increase. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in a second. We're going to talk a little bit more about actually, I'll just put it here. We'll put it here. This is the other thing that I wanted to talk about. This is also something that's sad. So Avalanche Studios, this is an indie studio, but they did have a contract for an Xbox exclusive. You see it right there in Contraband. So we talked about Contraband not too long ago when Xbox said that there's going to be no Contraband. They canceled that project. Had a super cool trailer like 4 years ago. And the studio is closing. Right. So like this is having big impacts. And we've seen this before across a couple of different studios now where they were working on the game. Studio, like the contract gets killed. No publisher wants to pick it up and studio closes. You're going to see more. Like you're about to see a whole bunch more actually. But this isn't necessarily a gaming thing. This is obviously like the entire economy right now. And you're going to, like I said, this sucks. I don't like to be right about this stuff, but it sucks. PlayStation is looking pretty good right now. Oh my God. Say like, are you console warring right now? You can get 3 months of Game Pass on Amazon for $60, or at least you could probably slow down now. Croppo is Croppo purple. Croppo, nah. Gift cards are considered. I think I want to dig in, bring that same energy in the other show, Neos. Gift cards are considered cash against future purchases. Subscriptions cards are prepayment for the service. I'm not sure if that makes an accounting difference or not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's what I was just thinking. Because like, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm going to my accounting class, and that is definitely like higher than the accounting I did. I would not think so, but it's better to have a sub card if the price goes up. Yeah, I think that's the truth. So $20. Remember a couple of years ago, they were like, you could get 3 months for $30. And then it was like 3 months for $45. And now like 3 months for $60. So I think there's only so much. Like some people are going to be left in the dark on this one. There would be accounting. Yeah. I leave it to you all. I will look this up. I probably should have looked at that because I knew I wanted to think about that. I'll probably look it up. I don't know. Let me think about it. I got to backplay it. Some of it. Like, how would you write it off? Let me think about that one through. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask one of like my old professors how they would think about that. I'm sure it's not as difficult as I'm making it seem. Yeah, so there we go. Layoffs, price increases. But yeah, I got ABK. I guess that's a win. They got ABK. I tell people I don't think that was the win that they thought it was. But all right. We're going to show another trailer. This one I have not showed you all, and then the last two I have showed you all. So this trailer I have not shown. Looks interesting. Reminds me of Matagora. If y'all remember that game launched earlier this year. Recently launched on Switch. But yeah, here we go. Great timing there with the Xbox logo. Hopefully that's on Game Pass. But that's Hellreaper. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of looking forward to the story in that. I don't know why. Like, there's a lot of games that look kind of like that, you know what I mean? But for some reason, that one, the story seems pretty cool. Like, I don't know. It could be like, there's obviously Blasphemous. That's not quite that. And like I said, there's Magagora. That's not quite like that. But, I don't know. I saw that one. I was like, I think that story looked pretty cool. So, who knows? It's probably on there somewhere on, like, if I see that thing on sale, not day and date, but if I see that on sale, I could see myself getting it. Like, it seemed like it had some interesting stuff in it. Yeah, I know, Roster. That's what I thought. But I heard Ninja Gaiden 4 is day and date with Game Pass. I might sign up finally. Go for it. I wouldn't know. It sounds like it should be. It sounds like I said, if you're gonna use it, use it. If you're gonna use it, use it. I'm not gonna tell anybody it's a bad deal. That would be interesting if they, you know what I just was thinking with Obi's comment? If they delayed the price increase until after Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight was like $20. That'd be crazy, right? Or am I just being conspiracy theorist now? Like, I'm like, they knew Hollow Knight was 20. So they're like, let us get as many people in. And then they raised it. I don't know. Gift card accounting treats a sale as deferred revenue, which is a liability because the service will be owed in the future. Once redeemed, you debt the liability and credit the revenue account. That's what I said. So it's a debt. Gift card accounting. So yeah. So when they do it, so when do they credit the account? That's what I was thinking. It's a liability. On my list to play this. I thought you beat Blasphemous, Simpleton. Thank you, Jeff. See, I figured, Jeff. I was figuring like one of these. I know some of y'all are like little accounting people. Once redeemed, you. Yes. Okay. So it's not like really in there, right? It cancels out with the credit. Or it's just held there. Like, see, I said, like, you're now like making me think through accounting. I don't do this stuff. But I don't think it's like pure revenue. I guess that's my whole point. I don't think it's like pure like an infusion of cash. That's kind of the thing that I was like, I don't think it's like, oh, they just sold a bunch of games. Or they just had an influx of people who joined Game Pass. I don't think that's how it works. I know it has a cancel out somewhere. But okay, that's Hell Reaper. I think so. We're gonna get into one more thing, and then we're gonna show more trailers, and then we're gonna get into the main topic, the main big one, where I want to talk a lot about. Y'all know we have to do this. Where's Ron Slusher? Amazon Luna relaunched. Now, we came from the cloud gaming space with Stadia. I still have a Luna controller. I don't think it's down here. It might be down here. I don't see it. It's probably upstairs. It looks a lot like the Switch controller, in my opinion. But, so Luna. I don't know. I did an interview with Ace. I did a show with Ace, if y'all remember Ace from... big time Ace. It was like one of the biggest cloud streaming shows. I did a show with him last January. And in the show, he had said he thought Luna would shut down by the end of 2024. Well, it hadn't. In the show, I thought Luna would eventually shut down. Now, when I see this, I don't know. There's a Snoop Dogg party game that initially I rolled my eyes at, and then I was like, oh, that could go somewhere, but it's Snoop Dogg. Like, this is where I feel like once I saw this, I was like, Amazon doesn't know what the F they're doing in gaming. I'm not gonna like once I saw that, it just like reinforced. It's like the same thing I think about Microsoft, the same thing I think about like any of the big tech companies. I just don't think they know. I don't think like I think all of these people are very mature companies that just don't know. And I think Luna runs well. I think if you have if you have Luna, it runs well. You know, I'm not gonna. I think I've only had like 2 crashes on Luna out of like 5 play tests, so I think that's good. But it runs well. I think it's a great way to game, especially if you don't have anything else. Especially if you already have like Amazon Prime. I think it's super cool. I also think they don't know what they want to do with it. And that's the biggest concern I have with Amazon Luna. Is that, like, say what you will about Google Stadia, it worked well. It wasn't that it didn't work well. I just don't think Google Stadia worked with Google. Like, if you think about it, they're just like not, like, Google's about advertising and stuff. You could maybe make an argument in YouTube, but it's really about like, there's content and then there's ads. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like there's cloud that empowers all that. There's AI now that's pulling that and it's kind of like integrating with ads or with content. But I always felt like that was it. Like mobile gaming, even like there's ads with the mobile gaming. Like I understand all that, but Stadia didn't make sense. Same thing I feel like post Stadia's closure is what I feel like with Amazon. Like, I just don't know where they're going with this. I don't know, like, how many people use Luna. I don't know how, like, I know they have their whole Amazon gaming platform. I know they have Twitch. So it makes sense. But I would have to think there's going to be a point here where, like, they're just throwing stuff at the wall. This, to me, is like the first of that throwing stuff at the wall. I thought the whole thing where they did with COG. Is it COG? I don't know, it's one of them. Where they kind of integrated a PC storefront with Luna. I thought that was super cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's the best value in cloud gaming. Like, you can go on that, buy a game that's like borderline the same price as it on Steam, and then you have it on Luna. I think that's, to me, that's the best deal. And it runs well. But I just don't know if this is just like what gamers want at the end of the day. And I think it's cool though. Like I think it's like interesting. But when I see things like this, I'm like, you made that turn into irrelevancy. It's like when the restaurant chain that you like starts doing weird things. You know what I mean? It's like a steakhouse that starts to say, well, we're going to be open up for breakfast. It's like, oh, I don't know about that. It's like your favorite Mexican restaurant all of a sudden saying they're going to start selling schnitzel. It's, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm feeling right now. I feel like you're doing something and you're doing something because something else not working. And so we'll see. I have a Luna controller. I said they're cheap. I think Luna's the best. If you want, if you're like, if you have Amazon Prime and you have Luna, like I think it's the best. I just do. The games are cheap and it allows you to play. You don't have to pay for it. Especially if you're a single player. I think if you're a multiplayer, I don't know about that one. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking about Snoopy from Peanuts. No, Snoop Dogg. It's definitely Snoop Dogg. Snoopy, I think I don't know. I don't know what the kids listen to these days. But I'm like, Snoop Dogg? Like Snoop Dogg? Like think about it. I want you to think about this. Like, how old is Snoop Dogg? I think Snoop Dogg's like 60. How old is this man? Okay. Like, so let's say he's 60. I don't know how old he is, but I'm going to go with 60. Let's say Snoop is 60, right? If we went back to like when you were gaming, right? So some of us started on like Atari, some of us started on NES, SNES. Some people started on like, he's a grandpa, so yeah, exactly, Wit. And then they were like, you know, I don't know, name your celebrity from like a generation or 2 generations back advertising gaming. What would you do? You would be like, what? Like Johnny Carson show or something. It's like, what? Is that dude still alive? That's what I thought about when I saw it. I was like, I don't know if Snoop has the same pool. You know what I mean? Snoop Dogg just played at the AFL Grand Final opening entertainment. I get it. At least 6. He was big when I was. Yeah, I know. Hey, Crow. That's what I'm saying. I just don't think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a thing. And maybe it's a thing, but I just can't see some people being like, oh, they got Snoop. We got to get Amazon. Like the people who be like, oh, yo, Snoop, like that's a cool game. Probably don't know how to work a smart TV. That's all I'm going to say. How's Diablo going? Oh, Crow's playing Diablo. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Maybe I'm wrong. Having him in Australia was a did you like it, Zayla? I mean, like, does he need money? Wasn't he at the Game Awards last year? So I guess it makes like some weird marketing promotional attempt. Oh, he's lost a lot of goodwill. Wait, I get that one too. I think he's just like, man, you are at that point. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never met the dude. I don't know anything really about him. Obviously, I know his music, but that's like music from like 30 plus years ago. You know what I mean? Like 30 plus years ago, I know his music. I'm just thinking like early 90s, 30 years ago, if you had brought you bring like a singer back from then, like the what is that? Early 60s? Yeah, that'd be crazy. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe for me, it just seems like, what are y'all doing? Yeah, wasn't he caught being homophobic? I'm sure he's been caught doing a lot of things. He's willing to collab with any brand. He's like Shaq and every other Oh man, y'all are coming for him. These 90s celebs. These 90s, at least Shaq is still relevant. You know, he still commentates on NBA games and stuff. Like, what does Snoop do, man? I think Snoop's been caught doing a lot of stuff. I think some of his performances are questionable. I'll say it like that. All right. We're going to show 2 more trailers. Or we're going to show, let me see. Which ones do we have left? We're going to show one more trailer. We're going to show one more trailer and I'm going to dive deep. Okay? One more trailer and go to dive deep. Y'all know this one. I'm excited about this one. Here we go.
From childhood's hour, I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Through endless nights and stormy weather, we face our childhood fears together.
Bandai Namco. Yeah, so it comes out next Friday. I already have it. I have it on PlayStation because they did the enhanced edition back in the summer. I have it on Switch, pre-ordered, and I have the collector's edition coming in. So physical, and I have some other stuff from them. So I'm super excited about it. I still haven't played the demo. I'll probably try to do that maybe this weekend or Monday. I only have 45 minutes of it, so maybe we'll see. But Little Nightmares, you'll know this is like probably the most hype I've been all year. I mean, South of Midnight was close. I was pretty excited for South of Midnight. But Little Nightmares is for sure. Obviously, I did a whole deep dive on it. So, like, I like it. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll see it. Nightmare version of the Boars. Yeah. But what I also like about it is they're doing expansions to it, which tells me there are going to be some stuff next year as well. So lots of stuff. Comic, I have that coming in pretty soon. I already have the novel, right? Also, I believe in October is when they said they were going to start up the podcast again. So season 2 of the podcast. I believe Amazon is doing something with the show. So like I'm chillaxing with like nightmare stuff. So I'm all good. Have you seen the trailer for? Oh my! I have not. If you send it, I might be able to get it in there. But I have not. I've actually not. Hey, Cherry Man, what's going on? I was in Cherry Man's stream earlier this week, chilling. But yeah, no, I have not. I haven't been doing anything gaming, to tell you the truth. I think I played one part of Shinobi, and then I started doing some other stuff. Been in people's chat a lot though. All right, we've been delaying long enough. Big news. All right, video game juggernaut EA gets acquired for $55 million. Now, I do want to talk about this really quick. Just want to talk about this really quick and some of the mechanisms of this. And so when we talk about EA and what happened and with Microsoft, there's some key differences about this acquisition versus Microsoft. And I want to talk about this just so, because you're going to hear this a lot more, not just in gaming, but over the next like 3 years for sure, you're going to hear a lot about this. It's going to be, you're just going to hear a lot. And that's something called a leverage buyout. This isn't necessarily new. It's been going on since the 1980s, but it's quickly picking up steam. And so first, let's talk about, we talked about ABK earlier. When Microsoft bought ABK, that was an all-cash deal. So that was like Microsoft had, I don't know, like $70 billion. And they're like, yo, we have $70 billion and we want to spend it. All right. That's what they did. So that's why you can always do the accounting for that deal really easily, because you're like, all right, if they had just not spent the money, they would have been making XYZ amount in interest every year. And because they did spend the money and this is how much they're making now, like it's very easy to do that. Very easy to project the revenue and all that. When you do a leverage buyout, okay, this is primarily utilized by private equity firms. And I think people could throw these around, and I don't think they quite understand, because when you understand what happens, you're going to understand why I'm going to say there's some losers in this and some winners in this. All right. A leverage buyout for the most part. All right. I'm going to make this simple as I can. A leverage buyout for the most part means if you wanted to buy a company, this is very simple, then I'm going to come back and explain a little bit more what it means. But very simple terms, it means you want to go buy something. You don't have enough money to buy it. So you have to take out debt, right? But in taking out the debt, you still don't have enough to afford it. So what you do is you tell the bank, hey, I know I don't have enough right now, but if you include how much I'm going to be making based upon what the business makes, so the operations of the business, I can afford it then. So you're leveraging how much you're borrowing money for one, and you're leveraging the business operations to pay for the purchase. It's essentially what happens, okay? So in this situation, you got 3 players, and each of these players have all different strategies. Like, you're going to understand why I'm going to say some of these are winners, some of these are losers. What is known, and I'm pretty sure what Rebellica wants to talk about, is Saudi Arabia. All right, Saudi Arabia Sovereign Wealth Fund. If you didn't know, it's probably the biggest wealth fund in the world. And they are the ones who are mainly purchasing EA. If you did not know, they were the majority stakeholders, so they owned roughly 10% prior to this. They own all of it. All right. They own they're the huge majority. Then you have a group called Silver Lake Capital. Big Silver Lake Capital. I have at least one friend who works at Silver Lake. And Silver Lake Capital is a private equity firm. All right. So Saudi Arabia said, oh, we got the money. Silver Lake Capital is a private equity firm, and we're going to talk about their whole role in this. And then you have a group called Jared Kushner, son-in-law of the president. His group is in there. And his group is also partly, we'll talk about what they're really in there for. So Saudi Arabia said, we want to buy it. Silver Lake Capital said, all right, once you buy it, we'll do the operational turnaround on it. And Jared Kushner's group, they're in there because they're like, okay, this is going to need approval. And because I'm the president's son, I'll be able to streamline, or son-in-law, I'll be able to streamline that approval. A little bit, basically what happens, is a little shady once you realize that Jared Kushner's firm is mainly funded by the Saudis. It's got a little sus, but we're going to go with it, right? So that's what essentially has happened. Okay. So Silver Lake Capital, even though Saudi Arabia has Silver Lake Capital and Saudi, they're kind of joint investors in this. Silver Lake Capital is the one who's got to turn this thing around. Saudi Arabia is a little different, right? And the reason I say they're a little different is because each of these people have different incentives in this. Now with Microsoft, it's really easy to say, Microsoft's trying to make money, they're going to raise price, blah, 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 blah. Really easy to say that. But we kind of talked about this with Tencent back when we talked about that deal. Saudi Arabia is not so worried about making an immediate profit. Okay. Saudi Arabia, since the mid-90s, actually since after the World Trade Center bombing, not even 9/11, since after the World Trade Center bombing, Saudi Arabia has been on this public image campaign. Okay. And then that took a hit in 9/11. And then in 2005, they really went on this huge thing about trying to be a nice person. So if y'all remember back in 2005, back in 1995, if you saw a Saudi person back in after 2000, you were like, that person is a terrorist, right? Remember, Saudis, usually they have their whole garb. They have the whole shot. They have everything, robe thing like that. Those are usually Saudis. Those are usually Arabs. And then you obviously have Persians, right? Which is Iranian, which usually are in suits and stuff. So Saudi went on this whole public campaign. You can look all this up to try to make their image look better, essentially. So they've been on a huge buying spree because they've also, if you did not know, Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest oil producers in the world. And they've been on this whole thing because Saudi Arabia knows that eventually the world's not going to need oil. So what they've been doing is trying to do this public facing campaign to make themselves look better, which they kind of shoot themselves in the foot every other year on that. But regardless, they've been trying to do that. And they've been trying to diversify their economy. So Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest investors in renewable energies. So Lucid, you've heard Urban World and I talk about that sometimes. They're one of the major backers of the Lucid electric car. When it comes to gaming, Saudi Arabia was one of the main backers to Embracer Group. And we remember about a year ago, they pulled out of Embracer. They still are a pretty large shareholder in Nintendo. They roughly own about 7% of Nintendo. They're also a pretty big investor in Tencent, and they've also done some stuff with Ubisoft, as well as a few other game companies. They want to be the number one game developing group in the world. They want to be like the number one renewable energy source. So Saudi Arabia, they also are like doing stuff with the PGA Tour. They're like a lot of things. All right. And if you've ever been to Saudi Arabia, like I said, when I was stationed in the Middle East, roughly like 16 years ago, I had to go to Riyadh a couple of times. And yeah, all I got to say is like, there is definitely human slave labor there, and there's definitely people who are really, really wealthy there. Same with Qatar, same with UAE, same with Kuwait, same with Bahrain, same with like all of them, Oman, like they're all like that, right? And I think people have this image of like what they look like. Like these people have a lot of money, some of them. And so that's what they're doing. And so they've purchased this, and we'll talk, if y'all want me to dive a little bit further into like the different things about like what is more about the complexities of the deal, I can't. But if you take nothing away, realize what I said. They had to take out $20 billion in debt to fund this. And they didn't just take out $20 billion, they took out $20 billion in current situation. So the interest on this debt is high. That's the other thing that you have to realize. So you now have bought this with a credit card that has a high interest rate. And you've already have accounted for how much this company makes already. So you got to somehow generate profit to pay off that debt. And when you're in private equity, usually private equity firms, they generally work on timelines of like 3 to 5 years. They don't want to hold things for a very, very long time. So they want to like cut debt. They want to like open up some type of profitability or some type of value. And then they want to take it back to the market. Like they want to sell it at that point, and then they get to make whatever profit is on it. So on a $50 billion deal, if they can cut all the costs and like sell it for like 53 billion, then that little group of private equity people, like we're talking like maybe like 50 people, get to split $3 billion. It's basically how private equity works. They can do that because of something called carried interest, which we can talk about later on after the show. But yes, that's what's going on. DLC pack, 100th pack of DLC. I see that EA currently takes all the money from Sims expansion packs and uses it to fund other games. Oh my goodness. Okay, roster. BioWare, rest in peace to Titanfall. Oh, they own. Yes. All right. Don't they, or didn't they? But by the WW, maybe. I have no idea. I know they own a lot. So they're going to cut costs, increase their AI is their friend. We'll see. I don't think AI can raise revenue. So we're going to talk about this here in a second, because in my opinion, this deal has two winners. One group that I feel like is like, I don't like I wouldn't say they're a winner. I wouldn't say they're a loser. It's just like what they do. And two, I would say three losers. Okay. So let's start with the most neutral party. I think Jared Kushner's group is the most neutral party. They're just here to get this thing through the they're just here to get this through the approval process, right? They don't want to take any chances. And the entire people who approve this are all the cabinets of the executive branch of the government. So all the president, like the secretary, like Department of State, Department of Defense, Department of like Commerce, like those are all like the secretary, like they are the ones who get this through, right? His group, I think, is like the most neutral. Like his group is basically propped up to help foreign companies buy American assets and get it through this process. Boom. We're going to talk about the winners. Okay. Winners. Number one winner is EA shareholders. Okay. Because Saudi Arabia paid about 25 to 30% more than what the stock price was, which is not, it was just normal. That's what Microsoft paid ABK. That's normal. But if you ask me, EA is a very mature business. And I don't think EA has, I think they were kind of overvalued to begin with. So the fact that they're getting $55 billion for something that I think is probably worth maybe closer to half of that, I think they're the next winner. And we're going to talk about why that overvaluation is actually really important in this. The other winner is shareholders. The other one, and we talked about shareholders already. We already talked about, we only have two winners, right? The other winner is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia strategically has done what they wanted to do. They've taken a Western asset. They've gained soft power, right? And they basically have done whatever. This deal would not have been approved 20 years ago. I don't think this deal would have been approved 10 years ago. By now, no one even blinks an eye with the Saudi regime, which I think they have shown their ability to basically turn their image inside out. And I can tell you why I think Saudi, I don't know. There's a lot of issues with them, but there's a lot of issues in that part of the world, and we'll talk about that after the show. Losers. EA employees. Okay. You're about to see mass layoffs. You thought Microsoft laying off people was bad? You're about to see that in spades. Okay. Studio closures, everything. If it does not make money, it is going to get Another big loser, I think, gamers. I think gamers are going to end up paying more for this. And I also think that gamers are going to get lack of innovation. I don't think you're going to see any big daring things. If you thought EA, Madden was stale before, it's going to be real stale now. You know what I mean? I just don't think you're and I'm not going to say EA was there to begin with. Like I said, I thought this company was already mature. It's a very interesting private equity purchase, in my opinion. And that takes me to my last big loser here. I'm talking big loser. Silver Lake Capital, the actual private equity firm. I think they're going to lose on this deal. And the main reason I think they're going to lose on this deal is because of what I just said. I don't think there's anything else you can squeeze out of EA. I think their costs are really high because they license out a ton of stuff. I think their player base is basically stagnated. You're not going to get more FC fans. You're not going to get more Madden fans. You're not really going to get more Sims fans. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to squeeze those fans for more, those players for more, right? You're not going to take some huge thing. Don't get me wrong, Saudi Private Wealth Fund also owns ScoPlay, which is a huge mobile thing. So they're going to try to cross-reference that, but I just don't see it. So Silver Lake Capital is the one who's going to have to operationally turn this thing around. Silver Lake Capital is the one that this is holding on their books right now. They're going to have to pay the $20 billion. So let me make that very clear. They're going to have to show a profit on top of paying back that $20 billion. And they got to do that in about 3 to 5 years. You tell me how they do that. This company makes roughly about $6 billion a year. That's not profit. That's revenue. Profitability, I think you're closer to around 1 to 1.2 billion a year, which is still a lot. But you got to pay on top of the revenue, on top of what you're already making, you also have to pay that $20 billion in debt. That is why people are saying there's going to be a ton of layoffs. There's going to be price increases. And there's going to probably not be anything that takes 5 years to show some type of return on investment, right? This is going to be something that this is going to be quick. You're about to, the gaming world is going to, Microsoft moved quick, kind of. This one, you're about to see real cost cutting and revenue driving at a very large scale. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. That's just my analysis. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it. Leverage buyouts at this, same thing I said about ABK. Once you start getting to there's a certain size that it makes sense. There's a certain size that it doesn't. I think gamers are moving away from things like what EA had. So good luck with EA. I think it's done. Like I just think it's done. Will NFL take the license away? No. They won't, because they're getting paid. They're getting paid. Okay, wow, that's crazy. I knew they were involved with. We're seeing Cohen. We need her. What? They don't want her. Oh, they're gonna cut costs increase. Hey, and that's the thing. People think it's gonna be AI. I don't think AI can help. AI is a cost. There are now investors. It's becoming louder and louder, and I believe the next dip in the stock market is going to be because of this like AI bubble. AI really can't increase your revenue. People are spending hundreds of billions of dollars on AI. AI can cut your costs to a degree. It can't. Well, how do you increase revenue with AI? That's the problem. Everybody's saying like, okay, like they're spending, like these companies are spending trillions of dollars when you add up all the big tech companies. They're not getting trillions of dollars in like revenue back. So like, I think there's going to be this like coming to the Lord moment for them where invest, and this is now next year, kind of makes 4 years since that huge AI push back in 2022. There's a point to where investors are going to be like, okay, you've been spending hundreds of millions of dollars or hundreds of billions of dollars every year on this. And so if Saudi Wealth Fund and Silver Lake Capital think that AI is going to save them on this one, okay. Like Microsoft is like one of the number one AI people. Has AI saved them for ABK? So who do you think's that? You think if Microsoft can't figure it out, you know what I mean? If the number one tech AI company cannot figure it out, I have no faith that Silver Lake Capital is going to figure it out. I just don't. Like what private equity firms do is they come in and they try to unlock value. They try to unlock value that the market said was not there. So you're basically like a contrarian. You got to say like, we think we can do the business better than you, EA. And I think they can do some things better than them. I don't think they can do it better than them for $20 billion worth of debt better than them. I just don't. So Silver Lake Capital, 3 to 4 years, mark Purple's words, Silver Lake Capital in 3 to 4 years is going to be crying foul over this deal. I'm telling you. I already can see it. They're going to be trying to offload this deal, and they're not going to be able to. I think NFL needs to start shopping for different publishers for football games. Maybe. NFL is having like, they've really changed it around over the last 8 years. You know what I mean? The NBA should take some hints from them. But yeah, maybe they should. I don't know who else would buy that. Maybe what? Take-Two? Take-Two? Like, can you imagine, like, in the last 5 years, we've seen, like, the largest Western publishers, 3 of the 4 largest Western publishers have all been bought. Bethesda, EA, and ABK. I think that's wild. I think that's just absolutely bananas and wild. And guess what? None of them have paid off. None of them have paid off. Well, we don't know about this one yet, but I think I've always thought like Bethesda was probably the worst target. I thought EA's the second worst target. I think ABK was it's like the second best one. I think Take-Two is the top. I think this one, I have no faith in it. Like I said, I don't think Saudi cares. They got a ton of money. They want soft power. But I absolutely think Silver Lake Capital cares. Good luck to y'all. Good luck to y'all. They're going to get paid, but good luck. AI is going to replace a bunch of humans to generate the cosmic content they're most certainly going to pump into games. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, they're gonna cut some costs, but that only helps cut costs. I don't think like I don't think there's only so much money more you can pump in for people like Rebolica to buy. That's my thing. There's only so much like Project Storm is going to buy. That's why I said gamers are going to spend more. They are dependent on people right now who have already, like, EA. I don't think anybody looks at EA and is like, yo, that's a really great value. I don't think I've never heard someone say that about them. And so, like, how much more can you squeeze out of them? You got to expand the player base at some point. There's only so much you're going to get people to pay. And so I think there's going to be this tension between EA and players. And it's not because of Saudi, really. Like, I think the Saudi government's going to be like, you do your thing. We already got what we want. I think it's going to be literally Silver Lake Capital is going to have to generate a ton of cost cutting and revenue generation. And how much more can you, like, how many more cosmetics can you do? That's what I'm saying. The revenue growth is already maxed out. The revenue growth it's maxed out. All you can cut is cost. NFL 2K was a gangster. What was it? NFL Blitz? What about that one? Another Toys R Us. Maybe. It takes it up. You really can't increase. You can't. That's what I'm saying, Obi. What do you think on Ubisoft and Tencent joining? Combining? I think we talked about the Ubisoft thing. I think Tencent needs a partner in the West. And Ubisoft needs, right? They split up into what, 2 or 3 different companies. I could have talked about Ubisoft, but I've talked about them before. They're doing something different. They're doing something similar to Embracer, where they're like splitting up into different companies, and those companies focus on what those companies do best. Like they put not Far Cry, Rainbow Six Siege, The Division, and I think another one, maybe Assassin's Creed. They put those games in like one company, and then they took like all their like indie and like they do a lot of board games, right? Like Ubisoft does like Monopoly, Clue. They put all those games in another company. And so therefore, like the kid game company can just focus on the kid game company. Or the family game company can focus on the family games, and like the shooters can focus on the shooters. I think eventually we'll see how that does. You know what I mean? With Tencent in there, I think, like I said, I think it just acts as a way for Tencent to have a publisher to get their games published other places. I don't think it's the same. I think it's totally different, though. Like I said, I think China has a different issue. How does China expand outside of China? And I think Ubisoft offers a pretty good, compelling case for that. They also have a lot of cost issues. Oh, so funny thing, Simmers love Maxes and hate EA. No Star Wars Battlefront 3. Probably, maybe. Star Wars that's on Disney, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. EA has so many licensing deals. That's why that stuff is so expensive. So I could totally understand what you're saying. That if Star Wars didn't do well, they're going to be like, no, cut that. Let's create our own new IP, use the same game engine, but get rid of the Star Wars name. I could totally see that. Totally see that. So maybe I should say Disney's the other loser in this? Or anybody who had licensing deals with EA and the games did not make money. They're the other loser in that. I think so. I think that's a good call. Yeah, Madden prints money. So gamers are losing with all these stories. The clickbait title of the stream could be "Gamers Are Losers." Oh, they already think I say that though, granted. They may be. Gamers are losers. I think so. I mean, I think I showed some pretty cool games coming up. I think but here's the thing. If y'all watch me enough to know that if you look close enough, I say this, right? If you think I'm talking about gaming, you're right. If you think I'm talking about something else, you're also right. I think this stream is easily applicable to that. Right? If we think about really quick the ABK deal. I think Neo said like, oh, we're not talking politics, it's corpos or cropos. I forget what he spelled it as. But if you remember like 2.5 to 3 years ago, every gamer was taking this super political. I think FCAT put it in chat. FCAT talked about, where's Lena Khan? Everybody was saying this. Who's going to protect us from pride? Like, who's going to protect you? People want to say like, yo, I totally get it. They don't trust government. But you have to start understanding that if you continue to erode the safety nets that have been put there for a reason, you have no one else to blame but yourself. Corporations in the United States have, like, publicly traded companies in the United States have one remit. Other places, they have something else. The United States, they have one remit. And that is to make as much money as possible. End point. That's it. Other places you can have something like there has to be social good. There has to be something for the government. There has to be something, some places even something for the military. There has to be something else there. But in the United States, it's you have to make as much money as possible. The only thing that can contain that are the guardrails that are put in place. That's why we created the FTC. That's why we created all these agencies that are now being stripped. This isn't me trying to convince you to vote a certain way, to think a certain way. This is me literally after we have now an entire use case of over 2.5 years from the time I did my very first video on the ABK deal, almost 3 years. We have an entire life cycle to show what happens. Gamers are losers. People are like, what does that have to do with me? I get to play Call of Duty for $15. That's what we heard. Nah, it's $30 and you're going to still have to pay more. People who don't even play Call of Duty. EA, you're exactly right. What's this? Now people are a little bit more like, wait a second, Saudi Arabia, I don't know about that. But it's too late. But I just tell you, Jared Kushner is literally part of this deal just to get it through. There is no guardrails. There is no one in that administration who's going to say no to this deal. What did I say? Bethesda, ABK, and now EA. Western publishers? Kiss that goodbye. There are none of them competing against each other. All you have left is Take-Two. That's it. If you want to understand like influence in the world, you want to understand like why the United States had it a certain way, it's because we had that soft power, but we have now sold that out. And guess what the group is who's going to benefit from that? Not you and me. Again, this isn't like rocket science either. That's what I get pissed off about with certain people when they come out and they're like, you just hate whatever. No, I don't. I opened up a book. I understand history. Like, I work for some of these groups. I know the people who work at these groups. I know exactly what they say. Guess what? They're not talking about up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. I guarantee you that. They're not saying that. What's going on, Ron? Currently, the Sims Twitch account donates $1,000 to charity streams, buy gifts, game codes for anyway. I could see that. Yeah. 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 I think it's the craziest thing to think that people who have billions of dollars represent billions of dollars think they're looking after like little people. When I say little people, if you have like under $10 million, I think you're little. Like you're like Purple. If you have $1 million, nah, I think if you're like under 10, I think you're a little person. That's what I think. I think it's crazy. How do you think they made that much money? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that's the system. And I'm saying that when people are like, oh, I want more of that. Like I just heard on this stream, 2 people, Jack of all trades and Neos, both say, hey, I'm chilling with my little PC Game Pass. Okay. Good luck at chilling for that next year because it's going to come for you too. Good luck chilling on that. I think that's how we got in this situation in the first place, is that so many people are like, I'm good, you're not good. And then somehow, because you're not good and you're not doing what I'm doing, I'm now attacking you. But what you don't understand is that when you attack that person and you're like, I'm good over here, I'm not going to empathize with you over there. When you break that down, you're split. And so when you need them to now like argue on behalf of you to say like, hey, the price is going up, we need to all band together. You just told that group to screw off. You think they're going to now say like, oh, great, I'm going to be for you? No. If you think I'm talking about gaming, you're right. If you think I'm talking about something else, you're also right. We have too many people who are just reflecting on things that are only about them, their only immediate thing. And then when someone tells them like, look, you're coasting cool right now, but you're not going to be coasting cool in 15 months. And then those are the same exact people who are going to probably really not need to feel the pain. It's going to hurt them right as they don't need to be hurt. We see this over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I got to like I said, I don't like being right. But I understand the pattern. I only read books with pictures. Do you color them too? One Piece is on hiatus this week. What happened to the pro-consumer narrative? What pro-consumer narrative? Companies have gotten really good. They hire people like me. Companies have gotten really good to figure out what people want to hear. And then we match what people would want to hear with what we're doing. Like I'm telling you, like as someone who used to do this, someone who got paid a lot of money to do this at one time, I know every trick there is. I know every trick there is. If I can't get you to do the message, guess what? I'm going to get the people you like to do my message for me. That's why I said when Amazon went with Snoop, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Xbox was over 2 days ago. Only on Crazy Louie's channel. You know, I've lost certain subscribers because of my criticism of that. Profit's not bad. Let me start with that. Every company is going to try to do this if they can get away with it. Some companies just have other values Am I still muted? I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. Some companies just have other values, and that's why I look at other things. Like, I think it's wild that if you look at companies who are looking after their employees, that we now say that those companies are woke and they shouldn't be there. Like, I think that's wild. I think that is crazy that we have now weaponized that. Somehow people think like, oh, if a company's crappy to their employees, they're going to treat their consumers better. Like, that's what people say. Yeah, they should fire them. What do you think they're going to do to you? Man. I think that's what Simpleton was saying. They hope they can cut operating costs and boost profits just in case the $20 billion wasn't already concerning enough. Exactly. It's not clear exactly what AI might be used for, however. Look at that. Not just me. It's just not purple. These are people who know what AI is. Like I said, if Microsoft can't help it, yeah, I don't think Saudi and Silver Lake are going to do it. I'm just saying. You know, who would have thought? Who would have thought like super, super rich people, like convincing people that they can do something is going to actually make it do it? Do we have self-driving cars yet? I don't get it, man. There you go. Not just me. There you go. I don't know what to say. Labor laws exist, Rabolica. I would, but those are useless. You know what I mean? We now literally have, like I said, I don't know how this story's gonna end. We literally have people who are like, I want those workers to be hurt. Okay, well, those workers get fired. Cool. But then when they come for you and they start raising your prices or they take away your products or you do, like, then you're going to be like, well, who's there for me? You just alienated the people, the canary in the coal mine. That bird been dead. All right. When I went on Crazy Louie's channel, he knows this. Crazy Squid people. I went on Crazy Louie's channel. When was it? 2023. I went on his channel and I argued ecstasy about this deal. You know how much hate I got after that? People only care about themselves. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand how people have become so selfish. I don't get it. And then at the same time, the same breath that they'll say, like, I hate someone, they'll then say that they're like following the steps of some religious figure like JC or someone else. I'm like, what the hell? What is going on? 20 billion in debt isn't concerning enough. You know it. Could you imagine waking up and you're 20 billion? Bird been dead. 20 billion isn't enough. Yeah. People get fired. Countries that you know, like countries that literally are the place where 9/11 and World Trade Center bombing, where do you think they came from? Let me give you a guess. Saudi Arabia. How many times do you think we attacked Saudi Arabia? Now they're buying literally like EA. Man. It's almost as if I had a guy who had white supremacist tattoos being worried about facial hair for the military. I don't know. This is a crazy world, man. Maybe I'm going to probably drop a link and then we're going to probably go, because I'm starting to get, y'all can't tell, I'm starting to warm up. Like I'm about to like, maybe this might be like one of those times we got to go like early to the members only. I think we got to go early to the members only. I'm back. Is this a safe space? Simpleton, stop. Simpleton, you keep running away. Simpleton doesn't want to hear it. I know you, Simpleton. I don't blame you. Simpleton feels it from a different position. He feels a little uncomfortable. Try to, Obi. I try to, man. I don't know. Purple's still angry. I'm smiling. How am I angry? I'm smiling. I've been working on this. I've been working to smile when I start talking about this. Yeah. Let me drop a link in case some people want to join who are not members, because we will probably go to the members a little bit earlier. Okay, you want to talk some stuff. Simpleton, this might not be a safe space for you this time. This may not be a safe space. There's too many things that are going on. Well, I'm upset. Rebolica, you are definitely here. We'll definitely post something for you if you want to join. Rebolica's out of anybody? There's only two people in the community that really talk about EA. Project Storm and Rebolica. Those are the two. Xbox putting ads on free games with that. We always did that, right? I don't know. I had the Connect 4. You know, my mom bought Connect 4. It had an ad on it. I was like, what the hell is this? Like the Connect 4 box had an ad on it for some cereal. I was like, what is this? I was like, when did Connect 4 get ads? Yo, board games going crazy. I'll be there in a minute. No worries. Bruins won tonight. City of Champions. Who's winning the baseball game? I don't know why is it always like Yankees versus Red Sox. I feel like it's always a wild card. Yankees versus Red Sox. Amy, what's going on? Thank you, Joe. Ooh, Sean Coldblood, Mike Johnson. Let's go. Grizzly Talos. Oh, we got some Xbox. We got some Crazy Louie people in here. And we broke it. We got to 6, though. We got to 6. Like I said, that's still good. That's still good. Thank you. Thank you, Ambi. Red Sox are in trouble. I don't want to talk about it. Not the... Oh, man. Simpleton's really not having a good day. Bruins. What are the Bruins? Is that hockey? I don't even know. I'm back. What's up, Roster? I want to have a great week. Love it. Thank you. I learned a lot about this. Peace. No worries, Obi. We're about to hit it. We're about to really hit it. We're about to really hit it in the member only. We're about to really get it. Like I said, I was like, I don't know if you saw, but I was starting to twitch there. I was like, I can't do this right now. I gotta cool down. Boston Bruins are hockey. Yes. Okay. I didn't know. I actually was looking at a chart today. Hockey is like, if you want to get into a college with a sport, hockey has the best odds. It's still not great. It's like 5%. If you can do hockey in high school, it's like 5% chance you can do it in college. Like the best odds. My sport, tennis, not so much. 1.5. That's just college. We're not even talking pros. Um, oh, that actually is interesting. Like, which one, given today's situation, what is the value add if you can make professional sports and the money you can make versus if you just went to college and you can't get hired because of the economy? I think I have a. I think I actually have. I actually may run that analysis. The value. Oh, that actually may be actually really good. I think that might start changing. Neos, what's going on? Sire, I get you, Neos. Neos doesn't want to hear it. I'm waiting on Robolica, but then we're going to go to the next one. I don't think I have another show here. I don't think I have another thing. I think I did have one more thing. PlayStation. I forgot to see this one. Sony has invested over 13 billion to IP. Now I want to say this is also like this isn't just games. So that's the only thing that that's the only thing I want to say. It's not just games. Like there's a lot of stuff here. It'd be interesting how much it is. I mean, 3 billion of that is what is that company called? Bungie. But that means there's a lot of anime. A lot of anime. Obviously, they bought a lot of stuff. So like that, this one's kind of like misleading a little bit from a gaming perspective. But it makes sense why they're spending that. Like, I wonder what Netflix spends. Like, that's what I would have to like compare this to is like Netflix versus like Amazon versus like Warner Brothers versus Disney. Like, that's what I would want to compare this with. Amazon's probably the best one to compare this with. That's why I didn't really want to talk too much about that one. Because I don't know, like, what is 13? What is that? Like, contextualize that. I don't know what that. I would have to get back to them. Like, is that a lot? Like, how much do they normally spend on IP? Like, how much do we normally spend? I know, like, Amazon paid a ton for Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power. Xbox is dead, actually. Oh, you're sick. Neos, get some rest, man. Hydrate. Do a hot toddy. I think getting sick is like if you can do a hot toddy. I have my friend Luis, and he was staying with me right before he PCS. He was ETSing actually in the military. He was staying with me for like a month, and I showed him a hot toddy because he was starting to get sick. That dude, like in like 2 days, did an entire thing of Maker's Mark. He's making his hot toddy. He did a whole thing in 2 days. I was like, Luis. He's like, yo, I feel good. But yeah, do a hot toddy if you can, Neos. Your degree is wasting weight. Nah, not really. Say like, I think this is gonna sound strange, you know, like, but I think right now is the time for artists to really shine. I think it's the time. Oh, we got her. We got her, y'all. I've been waiting for this one. Rebecca!
Hi.
What's going, Rebecca? What's going on?
Just a little, I don't know, upset, nervous, don't know what to think.
Talk to us. So if y'all don't know, Rebecca is a sim streamer. You can catch her on Twitch on Tuesdays. But Rebecca, okay, so talk to us what the community's feeling. Talk to us about what you're feeling. Anything I said resonate? Anything you want to where are we?
Well, let's see. For the most part, people are very nervous. So The Sims is actually Sims 4, specifically, which is the current version of The Sims, is very diverse. There's a lot of cultural I don't know, assets that have been added over the years. It's also there's a lot of how do you put it? Like inclusivity for like trans and different
LGBTQ.
communities. Yeah. And so people are worried that that's going to change, like that might be taken out of the game, or that it might be and because before it was just like originally any sim could have a relationship with any other sim. So it didn't really matter. But now there are sims that have presets that are set to certain um, certain wants, the things that they want already. So people are scared that those are going to change. Everything's going to go back to the way it was for the Sims, like from the Sims 2 era. Just with no advancements and anything. And then people are also nervous about what's going to happen to the different studios because there's a lot of Maxis studios around the world. Like it's not just in California. Like there's I know that there's a team in Mexico that put out an expansion pack a year ago. There's a team in Europe that put out an expansion pack and a game pack over the last 2 years. There's even teams in Canada that work on stuff, and so people are wondering if they're going to lose their jobs, who's going to still be left afterwards. And currently, The Sims does a lot with like community members, like so things like they have kits, so they're small, like 25 assets for the game usually. And lately they've had a lot of modders making their kits for The Sims, and they get paid like a flat rate fee for that. They probably get paid less than like a team working for Maxis would, but they actually do a better job. Um, and but like are they still going to be hiring community members to do that? Would people actually want to do it? Will they'll still be open to having modders change the game the way that the Sims team currently is? Because there's a huge modding community. There's custom content for everything. There's mods that can change like the rules. There's actually a couple of mods that if you have them and you stream, you will have your account deactivated. So there's yeah. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this with the Sims community, and people are scared that it's all just going to disappear. What else? And it's actually they put out a thing in the spring talking about how much money the Sims actually makes for them. Like Sims is still growing year over year for players, like their player base, and they're making like, money hand over fist with the Sims. Like it's a very it's a very lucrative thing for the EA team. And all of the expansion packs that come out, and I think the one that came out today is the 19th expansion pack. It's the 100th DLC. So that's there's a lot of stuff for The Sims 4. It's been going for 11 years. And all of the expansion packs, all of the profits from the expansion packs go into funding other games that are not The Sims. So the Sims team actually has been whittled down significantly over the last couple of years, and doesn't get there's no Q&A. There's like 3 people who do quality assurance, and there's so most like the games come out with very very bad bugs that are always fixed like after the fact. But EA's been known for that for like as long as I've been aware of EA. So it's gotten a lot worse. There's some game breaking bugs lately that um that have happened. There was an expansion pack that came out 2 years ago. So it came out in December 2 years ago, and it still is almost unplayable. And they had to take out a cheat that they'd had in the game because it was actually causing people's save files to break. If they had, it was apartments. So if you had more than 6 apartments on the lot, it could potentially break your game, like your whole game. And so, but they have these, like I said, they have these kits. They're $5 US. And that's where all the money is coming from to do repairs for The Sims, is from those little kits. So, and there's a lot of those actually too. We have had 15 or 16 come out this year alone. But you know what? They still have the Sims 3 store active. And the Sims 3 store, if you were to buy everything on there, would cost $7,000 US.
So So I think what you just said there is actually, so I may be a contrarian on this one.
Mhm.
I actually think The Sims is not probably going to be impacted as much.
Probably not, because I'm pretty sure that's what makes most of the money for EA.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think with this, like, I think when it comes to The Sims, I could see something with scope play, meaning I think I believe Silver Lake's model is going to be, that's probably one of the few places where I think they're going to try to really expand and build out into other markets with The Sims
There's a
utilizing mobile.
there's
Like
a board
more so.
game that came out in the summertime. There's a mobile game currently, and there's another game that is in development. That's called Project Rede, and nobody knows really much about it other than that it's supposed to be cross-platform, um, and like an online game. Other than that, who
Yeah.
knows?
So yeah, so I could see Sims, like, to me it's like very if we look at it, it's like Sims, Madden, FC, right? Like
Mhm.
the things that have just like kind of like potentially Battlefield, and probably also um like what is it called? Esports.
Yeah.
Something like in that like really owning that. I think that is going to be their model. Like
Okay,
really expand.
so there's a comment that just popped up that, or at least I
Sims
just see it.
5?
Sims 5. So, there's no Sims 5 currently in development, and the reason for that is because EA said somebody who is on the Sims team or was leading the Sims team, and I think it's the person who just stepped down in December. Anyways, they said that they weren't going to develop Sims 5 because they didn't want players to have to start again and buy all the content again.
Okay, so nice.
Oh yeah, Sims 4 is a very unstable game. So people are begging for a Sims 5. I could actually see this being good for Simmers if they decide that they want to go ahead with having a Sims 5 and have people buy all the expansion packs again. Maybe not like 19 of them, but like if if we have to buy an expansion pack then to get pets again and buy another expansion pack to get, I don't know, seasons and have another expansion pack to get vacations and hotels and stuff like that. Like people are going to buy them.
Yeah.
It's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Like there's it's been 25 years of The Sims, and I've been playing The Sims for 24 of those years. So
Oh, gee. Well, like I said, I actually think when it comes to The Sims, so I understand why, like, as I said before, I don't think that's why I framed it the way I did. Saudi gave the money. Silver Lake Capital is going to have to do the operational turnaround, and then Jared Kushner seems really just there for the um to get it through approvals. But I'm pretty sure Silver Lake, they're not going to want to lose players because that's what's
mhm,
going to drive the revenue. Like they're going to squeeze you off for more. That's where I've said like you're going to get more. You're going to probably get more
mhm.
at maybe even at a slightly higher price because they got to turn that up somehow. And I think the Madden crowd's going to get the same deal. I think the FC crowd's going to probably get the same deal. Um,
I worry more for games like Skate that just came out. Like I don't know how many people play that.
yeah, that stuff's going to probably go. I could see that happening.
And
Just
like
like sucking.
but I don't know if you get things like what's it called? It Takes Two or something like that. Was that what it
It Takes
when
Two, yep. It Takes Two or Split Fiction both come from Hazellight. So Hazellight's actually independent. EA just publishes it.
Okay.
So there is that, like, they're armed to publish. So I think that's another one that I'm not necessarily factoring in as much. Do they, I would think they're gonna, like, that's easy money if it's something that sells,
Mhm.
right? They're gonna publish it. So I could see that. I think the ones that are a little bit more up in the air is BioWare. right?
Okay.
With Dragon Age. I think that's a little bit, we could see where that one falls. I think,
Yeah. Well, right now, Dragon Age is on sale for less than half the, like 60% off. Sorry, I have the EA app open on my other screen.
go for it. Yes. Yes. Go for it.
So, it's interesting because if you look at, let's see, featured games, like there's a lot of like Madden, and then there's like The Sims and FC and Star Wars are like their main
Their main thing.
sections. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's gonna, same thing I said with Microsoft. I just think they're going about it differently. I said Microsoft's gonna basically whittle it down to the main things and try to get it out to anybody who can. That's why they're gonna expand it. I think Sims, the difference with them with EA is I think um they believe there's probably some play there with scope play. Like there's some like synergies that they think they can reach new audiences
hmm
and they can streamline cost cutting. But that's the thing. A lot of the costs on EA is licensing.
Well, there's not very much licensing though with The Sims.
Not with The Sims. Not with
Yeah.
The Sims. But when we talk about those other three you just talked about,
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Star Wars and
Madden, and FC, it's like, and College Game Day, that's like all licensing. So, yeah, I totally hear you on this. But I think The Sims is all about expanding.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to try to get rid of anything.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, if they know they have a really big queer community or queer ally community or like inclusive community, regardless of the demographic, they're not going to try to undo that, in my opinion, because it's
So
just what
Katy Perry is licensed on The Sims. You can't get that pack anymore.
What?
So Katy Perry did a pack for The Sims 3. It's called Katy Perry Sweet Treats. It's not available on the EA store. The only way you can get it is if you find a physical copy.
So I think you may see more of that.
Yeah,
think
there's
you-
actually the EA. Let's see, The Sims 2 and The Sims 1 came out as like an anniversary edition this year. And The Sims 2 is missing a pack from it. It was IKEA stuff that was missing, so you can't get that in that particular one. If you have the one that they there's a free version of The Sims 2 Complete that came out just after like when Sims 3 started, that has it included. And if you have all the discs for the physical games, again, that's how you can play that. But and also there's like, put the pirate hat on. There are other ways of getting things.
Oh my goodness! Look at. Are you supporting this Neos and lo-fi journey of piracy, Rebelica?
Not anymore. When I was working for like minimum wage and didn't have money for games, but that was like, it was like, I was a promise to myself that I was going to get the game eventually.
Okay, Rocky. Okay, this is not confession. I do not. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm in. Like, no worries.
That was also 20 years ago.
That's totally okay. Totally okay. I hear you.
The first Sims game I got, as somebody gave me a disc that's written in pen, The Sims.
I think that's exactly how I got The Sims.
Yeah.
The one where Sims, whichever one where you controlled the town in
SimCity?
SimCity. I think that's how I got SimCity.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There used to be a lot more integration between the Sims games. So SimCity 4 had integration. You could take your Sims from the Sims 1 and put them in the city. You could have, I think, 4 or 6 of them, and you could follow them around their little lives. And then also the Sims 4, you could create maps, which you could use in the Sims 2 to build your towns.
See, I actually think, to be to just be a little bit, maybe I'm being Pollyanna-ish. But what?
Granted, my credit card bill, which is Rebecca, was a pirate.
I know. I think that's so funny. I'm pretty sure like Granite's like right next to you. But I actually think the Sims community is a little bit more sheltered because I think they've cut so much already. But
Mhm.
it's such a cash cow that they're going to try to see how much cash they can get out of you, like how much more cash they can get out
Well,
of
I
you.
have to say the expansion pack that came out today is the best one that's come out in a while. And the only other ones that have been this good have been made by the same team.
So, like, I think, and they've already, I think the issue I think is going to happen is that it has nothing to do with their business model. I just feel that they're going to have to cut a ton of costs and they're going to find it hard to raise too much more money. Like I said, that's $20 billion. That's a lot of money that they have
Mhm.
on the books. And that money is actually issued at a high interest rate, right? So like interest rates right now are pretty high. So it's even like more astronomical when you think about just the payment that they're going to have to do on that. That's the problem I see.
Yeah.
If anything, what I could also see them doing that's not being talked about is that they actually form their own like thing where Sims and Scoplay go off and do like their own entity. Like you kind of like split the companies because like there's not really anything like you get Madden, FC, College Game Day go work on their own thing. Sims work on its own thing, and
Mhm.
I
Well,
think that could drive some.
because The Sims is made by the Maxis team, which I'm a little unclear on how that's set up right now because EA bought Maxis back in what, like two no, it was 90s, like 98 or 99. It was before the first Sims game came out. But SimCity 1 and 2 were by Maxis alone, and then they were bought by EA. Um, and um, so Sims games are still made by Maxis, which is part of EA. It's kind of weird. Um, and uh, so yeah, it's I don't know if they would maybe separate the studios out a little bit more than what they have.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just thinking back
So
when I had to like create where I've seen value created, and sometimes value like Warner Brothers Discovery, like AT&T, this is what they've done. They've split out like AT&T like sold out Warner Brothers Discovery and now Warner Brothers is over here, Discovery's over there. And now you have Warner Brothers like they're saying like we're going to sell game rights. So I've seen value unlocked or the idea of value being unlocked in that way. And to me The Sims is obviously it's a cash cow. You could pay maybe unlock some value if it's just focused basically doing what I think they should have done with um what's it called? King with Candy Crush, how Candy Crush is so much different than like Diablo, which is so much different than Call of Duty. Like I think there is something to be said about if this company just had a focus on that, how much could they drive? But I say
mhm,
all that to say I think Sims is probably out of all of them the one that is going to probably change the most in an effort to raise money versus to not disrupt the consumer base.
mhm.
That's how
Yeah.
I that's how I
So
see that.
I was just trying to look at the revenue for The Sims, and it's like in the last 5 years they've made like $1 billion for The
Uh,
Sims.
yeah.
So
Yeah, they're gonna need that. They're gonna need that. Oh, right up to these days. What's Will right up to these days?
oh, Will Wright, last I heard he was making a mobile game.
Wow.
But he's not hasn't been part of Maxis since I don't know, 2001 or 2002. It was not long after The Sims 1 came out that Will Wright left Maxis.
But
I
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I've been following The Sims team for 20 some.
I would think nothing less of you. Like, of course, I'm like you've been playing it for 24 out of 25 years. I would imagine you know everything through and through. Ambi used to be a Sims player, actually. And then he stopped because of he looked at how much he was spending on whatever DLC.
Yeah. Well, I don't buy a lot of games. Like,
No, yeah, if that's your thing,
yeah.
right? Like, then that's your thing. I was like that with X Defiant. I was like, there's certain games where I'm like, yeah, if they do something, I'm in that game enough, I'm gonna play it. That's why I think, I think Granite said something. I think it was Granite said like, hey, if you're into Game Pass and Fortnite, you're doing well because of this Game Pass price increase, right? Like,
Mhm.
I think there are definitely values to be had if you're going to use it. You play Sims every week. You stream it every week.
I play almost every day.
Yeah, almost exactly. So it's like totally makes sense because you're going to utilize it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so yeah, that's how
when I look at the hours played in The Sims 4, now this isn't quite accurate. It says 8,149 hours and 43 minutes.
Say it again. You say how many last what?
8,149 hours and 43 minutes.
This is impossible. You've spent almost a year in The Sims.
The Sims 4.
Yeah, just The Sims 4. You've spent almost a year in The Sims 4.
Probably triple that for The Sims 2. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I didn't play much of The Sims 3. The Sims 3 isn't not very good for low-end computers. I literally had my sim went to work and they had a babysitter come, and it took all day for the babysitter to feed the baby, and the baby ended up getting taken away by social services.
So, Republica, my goodness.
So I didn't play The Sims 3 until I got a new computer.
Poor baby. Or poor family. Poor mother. Poor mother. I'm
so
just thinking. 30.
I didn't play The Sims 3 a whole lot, but yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell would say you're almost an expert at The Sims 4. Have you ever you need 10,000 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So you're close. You're close to being an expert at Sims.
Mm-hmm. I would say so.
Oh my goodness.
I watch streams of people who've been. So I've only actually been playing The Sims 4 for since 2021. Because when it first came out, it didn't have toddlers, didn't have pools, didn't have basements. It was missing a lot of stuff. Like it was like half a game. So I was like, this is boring, and I went back to The Sims 2. And so I heard that there was an expansion pack coming out that included farming, and I was kind of big into Animal Crossing at the time. And so I'm like, oh, there's a new expansion pack that I really would like to get. So that's why I got back into it in 2021. I had a few of the not expansion packs. I had a few of the game packs already, and a Halloween stuff pack. I had the Star Wars game pack.
Wow.
Journey to Batu. And so I've only been playing The Sims 4 for 5 years. But I watch streams of people who've been playing it since day one, and they're like, how do you do this? And I'm like, oh, this is how you do that. Like I'm on the keyboard typing in. Like I just like
I think you're like probably the most I've said this before. Like you're probably the hardest core gamer in the community with your game.
Not like the professional streamers who play for like 6 or 7 hours a day, but
Republica.
What?
You've been playing the game. Let me do this.
I've been playing the game longer than some of these professional streamers have been alive.
Yeah, but let me say in the last 4 years, you've played the game on average 237 hours a year because you started in 2021. If we take 237 hours and we divide that by 365, you play almost You play a little over 5.5 hours each day.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I don't play, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so like when you say professional streamers, I'm like, you are a professional. You're at that level.
Oh yeah, so apparently sometimes I have to leave it on pause because I have to go and do things with my kids. So I'm not always playing. Because I put it on pause while I go and like help them with a bath or help them get meals and things like that. I'll have to pause it. But I also have one child who doesn't like to sleep. So if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning and trying to stay awake, what do you think I'm doing?
No, I totally get. I just think it. I think you are. All I'm saying is, I think you are a pro. I think like you're at that level of like. Even if half the time is on pause, you have 3 hours. You're almost an expert at Sims 4. You're actually an expert in the Sims universe.
I built a community lot. I built a community lot today in 20 minutes.
You're a pro. Like, what's the difference?
I did a shell challenge for someone. So shell challenge, people will build like a shape, like a building for shape, and have no interior walls or whatever. And it's like build something, and then they show it off on a stream. I started this build challenge an hour into their stream. I spent an hour on it, and it was as good or better than some people who had spent a week on theirs.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, though, Robot. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you're already at that level, how do we get you sponsorship?
I have to be online. Like, I have to be streaming more than I do, first of all, because I only stream about 8 hours a month.
Yeah, but I still think we can get you sponsored. I still think you can be one of those like people who are so good that like that is like if you can do that and you're doing it better than some of the streamers who stream every day, like there has to be some other way we can be like, yo, this is a major sponsor, especially if you're that effective in that amount of time.
I don't know.
That's going to be. We have to find a way to get Robolic a sponsorship. Out of all the people who've come on the show, there's only a handful that I would put into like a category of like you are good enough to be like sponsored. You, Project Storm and Madden, TK9 in fighting games. Xerxes in Halo. She's really good at that. There's only like 4 or 5 of you who are good enough to be like at that level. You're at that level. Am I wrong, chat? Like I'm like doing the math over here. Even if she's on pause, just your fact that you've played that much of Sim, just because you've played so much in Sims, you have over. I would venture to say you have over 50,000 hours in Sim.
I wouldn't be surprised. So, I mean, like, for example, when Sims 1, the last expansion pack was Making Magic. So I had, like, you could learn magic spells and stuff. When that came out, I was off work for a week because I managed to somehow sprain both ankles and potentially fracture my left wrist. And so I was off work for a week when that came out. I spent that whole week playing the expansion pack, like, I don't know, 16 hours a day. I couldn't really do anything.
Like I said, you're like, there's only a few people who are, I think, Nightfall and shooting games. I'm trying to think of all the people who are like really, I guess, jack of all trades is kind of up there as well. There's like only a handful who are like super good. You're definitely up there. I'm just trying to see how we can get you sponsorship. That's going to be one of my goals. Thank you, Rouser, for posting it. Thank you for posting it. This is like, I don't think I have 8,000 hours in gaming all combined. Like, if I had played, that's
like I played way more of Sims 2 before I had kids. Yeah, I would play for like 3 days straight.
like me and chess. Like maybe my chess time, and that's really leaning into when I was a kid, and maybe my mid 20s. There was also a time in my early 30s where I was like doing stuff like that. But since like the 40s and no, I've not been up there. Like maybe chess. My goodness.
Well, I mean, I have other hobbies too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of if I have anything at that level. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to like tennis, maybe tennis. I was definitely right at that level of like college to pro. Like so maybe tennis.
I used to sew professionally.
So
Yeah, I made costumes.
oh my goodness.
Like I made Star Wars costumes mostly.
So you're cosplay.
Yeah, anime, Star Wars.
Oh my goodness. We have you and Doragon are both sewers. I've been getting into sewing, and when I say I get into sewing, I mean I go find fabric while randomly walking through the city, and then I give it to my mom.
Well, my mom's the one who taught me how to sew.
My mom wants me to pick up sewing, but I'm like, why would I pick it up, Mom? If I can just like this is literally what I do. I go find fabric that I think looks really cool, and then I'm like, hey, can I get a pillowcase? That's what I do.
Like I made costumes for other people, so I got my iPad here. I don't know if I can get this to work with my green screen behind me.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah, green screen's not great.
That is Lamotte Crochet. You're right. You're right. Granted, my mom tried. Did I show y'all the difference between my mom and yours, Rebolica? And she's a sewer. Let me go get this. Let me go get both. I'm going to go get both of you. All right, we're back. So if you can so this is my mom. Same, they were using the same pattern. This is Mama Hayes's. She did her on like little because purple. She did for Purple Haze. And she put a little thing down there, like you can see. Made there we go. Handmade with love. So that's Mama Hayes's Lamotte. So I believe he hops like that. Lamotte. And this is Rebolica's Master Moat. Like actually Lamotte. Like actually
I tried to make it the same colors.
Yeah.
And it glows under black light.
Like like legit Lamotte. Like this actually is like Lamotte. Like my mom looked at it and she's like, "Oh, I tried." It's like, no, it's still good. It's better than I could do. Like this, if you go look up Lamotte, Lamotte, I forget what they say, something Chronicles. Is that the name up there? Oh, I have the album up there too. I just realized that. The album's up there. The vinyl. I'm like one of 100 who got that vinyl.
Granite wanted me to post some chat so people can see my profile picture, which is what can I have?
Oh, we can try to pull it up if you send it to me on Discord.
Well, it's actually just my profile picture. It's one of my costumes.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, this one. I don't know if I can zoom in on that. Oh my goodness. Talented.
Oh, I need this down here.
You and Zay, like you artsy people. I'm are you doing your costume now?
I have, well, this is a different one. This is my favorite Jedi robe. But my hood is so huge.
Oh my goodness. So this is like,
Let's see. It's not catching my sleeves there. They're
so
like,
how do we know if this is a Jedi robe and not like the Emperor's robe?
it's brown. The Emperor's robe is grayish black.
Oh, is that how the difference in I don't know. I
And
don't
he's
know.
got like a brooch to keep it closed. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm a Star Wars expert too.
We've had mostly Martinez is in Star Wars a lot too.
Yeah.
We haven't had it, he had a whole Star Wars. I think they stopped. But mostly Martinez is really into Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not like I haven't watched the new stuff. I haven't watched the Disney stuff, but
Oh, you should. It's so good.
really?
Yeah.
Like
Okay, Rouster, this is a really dark brown. It's a really dark brown. I've worn it in parades at night and it looks black. So, but it is actually dark brown.
oh my god. So what's your Halloween? Are you going to do anything for Halloween?
Not for me.
Oh, for the kids?
Yeah. So last year, one of my kids dressed up as a water tower.
Like an actual
A
water
very specific water tower. Yeah.
A very specific water tower.
Yeah.
What is is there some type of
It's Plano, Texas.
Plano, why Plano, Texas?
Because he saw another kid who had dressed up in that water tower, who also wasn't from Texas. And
I'm from Texas. I've been to Plano, but I'm like, why Plano, Texas?
And not even the current water tower. It's one that was torn down like several years ago.
Why? I'm just curious. Why Plano?
I don't know. Because, yeah, the water tower costume's over here. Let me just grab it. It's just, ugh.
Oh, Simpleton, I think she's gonna fight you on this one.
Whoa.
I'm trying to understand why Plano.
I have no idea. Oh, okay. So that's the back.
Oh my goodness, it actually is like the actual ball of the water tower.
Yeah, it's on the front and the back. It's really doesn't like the background doesn't like me putting things up here. There we go.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know this is a thing. This is why I think Amazon's losing. Kids are dressing up as like water towers, not Snoop Dogg. This is why I didn't even know dressing up as a water tower was a thing.
Yeah. He went to school even like
and there was two of them. There was two of them.
I don't get it either. I don't know. I don't understand why, but that's what he really wanted to be for Halloween, so I made it happen.
I don't know. Zaylee, I don't know. I think that like this is the thing. Like they're in Canada and they're like, oh, I want to do Plano, Texas water tower. I'm like,
don't you want to be like the local water tower or the one from the city nearby that's kind of the same shape as the Plano water tower, but has like a local name on it? No. Yeah, he collects water towers.
I didn't even know this was a thing. And he loved that kid he saw on YouTube. Man, I feel like this is like, I feel like there's a story here. I didn't even know. Like, I'm like, well, clearly you designed that look like if you are an amazing mom. That's what I will say.
Well, my mom made me like a Southern Belle costume when I was really into Gone with the Wind in grade 8. So like,
Hi. The bar was high. People like lighthouses. I get it. I get people like. I've never seen someone dress up as a lighthouse though. That's the I understand. I understand the mystique of lighthouse. If you think about it, lighthouses are interesting. They serve a function. Like they're a beacon of light. There's actually a lot of stuff I could say about lighthouses.
Lighthouses are a great place to woohoo in The Sims.
Woohoo.
Yes. Woohoo. That's how new
Oh,
Sims are born.
oh my god. Okay. That's woohoo. I may use that. I may use that term, and I may or may not use that at work tomorrow. True story. Grandpa makes wooden water towers, so the town names are some requests. Wow. And I see you, Vet. I see you, Vet. We're being positive now. We're being positive, not bringing down. We're talking about water towers. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing.
We have to drive past the water tower every time we come home from somewhere. Which is only a block away or so, 2 blocks from our house. So it's not
bad.
out of the way. But yeah, every time we come home, coming home from McDonald's with food that might get cold, no, we have to drive past the water tower first.
So, like, is it the function of the water tower? Because I just learned this. Like, I'm gonna be very honest. I didn't actually realize what water towers did until like high school.
I don't think so. I think it's just something you can see from like miles away sometimes. Like we'll be driving down the highway and he's like, "Oh, look, there's a water tower for this town that's not even on our road over there." Deep dive into Sims.
This is adult shit. I mean, purple after deep. Oh my goodness.
The biggest Sims streamer, she says that every expansion pack should have a new death type and a new woohoo.
I mean, wait. When you say a new woohoo,
New woohoo location or something, yeah.
okay, like a location. So it's not like you actually see the woohoo.
Depends on the location. It like if you see anything, it would be like they jump into a pile of leaves and the leaves are shaking and there's leaves flying everywhere. Or if they're in the vault, it's money flying everywhere. Same animation, but like it's money flying everywhere. There's one for hot tubs where they dive under the water and like these little heart geysers come out. And they actually added one in the new expansion pack where they don't have to be in a hot tub. They can just be in any swimmable water.
Oh my goodness. No, I don't know what I don't play. I don't woohoo in my games. Let me say it like that.
Well, with The Sims, it's like family line, like this legacy. So how do you get the next generation of Sims?
I get it. I guess I'm not like a legacy woohooer.
You can adopt, and they now have one where you can have a science baby where you go to a lab and come home with a baby.
What's going on, Top Master? No, we're talking about woohooing in The Sims. And we're just talking about woohooing and different types of woohoo. And I've never seen a woohoo. I don't generally do that in my games. But as long as you're gaming, you're good with me. That's what I will say.
If I'm streaming and my Sims are going to woohoo, I turn the camera away. I don't want to watch it.
Oh my god! So you're respectful to this. You're okay.
Although unless you're playing The Sims 2 and it's the first time, then they have a cutscene.
You can't turn away.
Can't turn away.
See, I could see this. See what you're telling me right now. I'm like, oh no, Sims, y'all are gonna have a lot of woohoos coming up.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a lot of woohoos and cutscenes coming up.
There's actually, I've seen people do videos of every woohoo type in The Sims. There's a lot.
I mean, if woohooing is what you're saying woohooing is, I think every generation feels like they created woohooing. And so I could understand why they would make animations for it.
What Sims game? Like all of them? No, not the first one. Sims 2 and later. The original The Sims, they didn't age. Every day was the same. They didn't have days off of work or anything like that. But when there was Sims 2, they age. And so you have to have next generation. You could have kids in The Sims 1. You just had to kiss a lot. And then a baby would show up.
You know, I feel like there's many people who've tried to use this excuse before. Like, we're just kissing. Like, no, you didn't just get a baby just by kissing. Like, so I get it. No, so Dot Master, Robolica is a professional Sims player. So that's why we started talking about The Sims. because it obviously had to do with EA, and so we're now talking about Sims and
And honestly, I'm not sure what to think about the EA thing because it could be really good for The Sims, like
I
the Sims game.
I think, like I said, I think, and I don't just say this because I'm like, oh, let me like sugarcoat it. I think The Sims is actually not going to be impacted as much as, like, let me say, Dragon Age.
Hmm.
If you're a Dragon Age fan, that's impacted.
If you have a game that has 100 DLC out already for
yeah,
one version of that game, and there's 4 of them. And then there's also like The Sims Medieval, that's still on the EA store. And then there's the what's the one that came out last year? Re-release. My Sims, the My Sims game that came out on Nintendo Switch and PC.
yeah,
Like they're it's the franchise makes too much money.
yeah. No, I think you're going to see more Sims in places. I think you're going to see a lot more expand. Like I said, scope play. I think a lot of the Sims money generation is going to come. Like, that's the one where I can say I can actually see, like, okay, EA has not exploited this title as much. What I mean by that is what we talked about 6 months ago. If you remember, I said, oh, we have mouse controls now in Switch 2. And we were talking about which games could potentially see a Switch 2 release. And Sims, you're like, yo, as long as if they do it better than whatever the other Sims that came out. But obviously EA has not branched out. So I think there's like low-hanging fruit for Sims to where they can expand that. And then when we talk about mobile and we talk about certain regions, I don't think they're going to try to break that formula. It prints money.
One interesting thing is that the Sims community wants more representation that's not American or European, but there's some European representation. There's like supposed to be England, there's supposed to be France. And then now the most recent one is like New Zealand and Australia. But most of the Sims games take place in the US or an American style world. So like there's ones that are based off of like San Francisco, Arizona, New Orleans. Base game is based off of New Orleans. And there's one that supposedly is supposed to be based off of Canadian parts of Canada, but it'd be like boreal forest, so like northern Ontario maybe. But like that's where most of the Sims worlds are based off of, is North America. And people want things that are from other places. So like there's one expansion pack that's based off of Japan. Then there's one that's based off of Southeast Asia. But there's nothing really like Middle Eastern, African. None of those regions really are represented in the game. So
Yeah.
I could see them wanting to have more representation of, like, Saudi Arabia would be Middle East, right? That could be a really good thing for representation in the game.
Yeah, like I said, I think, what you also haven't mentioned is Central and South. I don't know, but Central and South America, LATAM.
There's one that's based off of Mexico City. But
So Rio de Janeiro, right? Or like Sao Paulo, or like, I guess like where I see it is from everything you said, there's a lot of low hanging fruit, right? I think there's a lot of that they can maximize on mobile that they haven't really done. I think there's an easy way to link into other regions. I think there's a lot of potential for cross media expansion. I think the fact that The Sims has a very okay. So if I talk about Battlefield's player base, or Madden, let's use Madden. Madden's player base, I'm almost positive, is 90-10 male to female at best, if not more. Sims actually, because it is a much more even proportion, that's actually like super healthy, right? Yeah. And so that's where I'm like, no, if anything, they're not going to try to like turn that around, like that Prince might, they're going to try to expand that and utilize that in other regions.
Mhm.
This is the same thing about Candy Crush. Like, right? Like they didn't change like Microsoft didn't change Candy Crush's model. They're going to probably try to say, like, to what Simpleton was saying earlier, maybe can they cut costs with AI and do something else? But I think you're going to see more expansion. You're going to spend more money, right? But if you love The Sims, I think you're okay with that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. However, if I were to look at,
Well, if you look at inflation, to me, anyways, expansion packs have probably gone like down in price with inflation instead of like they're more money now than they used to be $40 for an expansion pack, and now there's 55 plus tax. But in Canada, anyways, in the US, different price. But like $15 in going up $15 in like 50 or 15 to 20 years, like that's not a huge increase for an expansion pack.
no, like I said, I think you're the engine for The Sims. Like, that's why out of all of them, I think you're going to see, like, you're going to get more. I think College Game Day is going to get all those things where they have all these fans. They're going to say, can we unlock more?
Hmm.
And I think they're going to push that, whatever that looks like, for those respective IP.
Yeah.
And they're going to solely focus on that. They're going to cut everything else that doesn't look like it has problems. So that's why I say Dragon Age is going to probably, like, that's one where it's a lot of investment with a long time horizon. They don't have that.
And probably The Sims is paying for that.
Yeah, probably, right? They don't have that. Or I could see Star Wars where you're like, okay, we sell a lot for Star Wars, but we also, like, everything Star Wars from EA has a licensing fee attached to it. You know, that's probably like 5 to 10% to Disney right off the bat.
Mhm.
So that's one where you're like, okay, what is that necessary? Is it worth it? You know, blah, blah, blah. And don't get me wrong, I think potentially what you see with Dragon Age is you might see Dragon Age being sold off. Like, right, can they sell that off? That's actually what I would probably think you would see. And I'm not, like, just to be clear, if anybody's, I'm not anti private equity. No, I'm not. Like, I think private equity can unlock value. I also realize, though, that there's going to probably be disruption to a lot of other things. But when it comes to The Sims, I just think you are already running at such a profitable thing. They're gonna want to spread that. How can they get that? It's literally the Candy Crush problem. We have this thing that prints money. How do we create more printers?
There's actually a money printing machine in The Sims too.
I would imagine. And
a money print tree.
Of course. So that's what I would say to the Sims community in general, is that I hear, especially now, considering the LGBTQ community has taken so many attacks recently, I could see why they're like, oh, this is another thing, especially when you hear Saudi Arabia, especially where you hear like
Jared Kushner, people.
Yeah. But again, Jared Kushner is there. Like, that's why I kind of like split them up into 3 groups. Like, what is Saudi there for?
Well, as soon as I saw that Rosebud doesn't work anymore, now it's to Kaching, but everyone uses Motherlode, which is 50,000. So,
thank goodness.
Yeah, no, everybody. But like when I heard who was involved, I'm like, Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner. Like,
that's actually so Saudi Arabia funded his firm.
Yeah.
So a lot of Jared Kushner's money comes from the Middle East investors, and it primarily comes from Middle East investors so they can streamline these types of deals. So like, that's why I said he'd neither, like, I guess you could call him a winner because he's going to get it done and it's going to get him more money.
Yeah.
When UAE wants to buy whatever. But that's like what his group, and he's putting up the least amount. It's literally there to get the thing greenlit. or approved.
Oh yeah, that was obvious.
Yeah. So that's that. But it's Silver Lake Capital that they're the private equity firm. They're the ones who are going to have to then go in operationally and find the value.
Mm-hmm.
Like Saudi Arabia doesn't, like their time horizon's 10, 15 years. So they can wait that thing out.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Lake is the one that's going to have to find the value. And that's why I put them as a loser. Because I'm like, they're the ones who are going to be on the line.
Can you imagine another 15 years of The Sims? What it would look like?
Yeah, it's going to probably look a lot like what it looks like now, except we're going to have like historical figures in there. And I can only imagine like what's up. But I think The Sims they're going to try to put that everywhere they can.
Yeah, and I really hope that we can get a Sims 5 out of this. Because that's, I mean, think about it. Like, if you have The Sims 5 and you have 2 expansion packs or 3 expansion packs per year, which like okay, so I think the base game was $60 US and the expansion packs are $40 US, and then there's game packs which are I don't know, $25 US maybe. And then there's stuff packs at $15 US, and then the kits were $5. So there's like 4 tiers of different DLC for The Sims 4, and like all of that would have to be remade for The Sims 5 if they made that.
I'm gonna make a prediction. About what's gonna happen with the next big announcement from this deal. And this is why I think like nothing's gonna probably happen to the thing. My prediction is that y'all are here. Y'all are gonna hear this first. You have not. This is a purple. You have not heard this. This is how much I look into this. EA's new CEO is going to be Bobby Kotick. You've heard that. That's the former CEO of Activision Blizzard. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think he's going to potentially, you're going to get a lot more Sims content. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That'd be nice.
You're going to get a lot more Sims content. But that's you're going to hear either Bobby Kotick or one of these other, honestly, I think it's Bobby Kotick. I don't think there's another person I can think of who could pull that off. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's who I think it is. We'll see. But yeah, so that's what I would have to say to the that's Purple's analysis, is that I think Sims is going to your point, Rebellic, I think there's actually going to be everything you said and looking at it just from me, just putting on that business cap, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that if the Sims community is willing to spend it, it's easy.
And there are people like me who buy everything for The Sims just to have everything for The Sims. Like, if you go onto the gallery, which is where people can share builds, Sims, like families, things like that, and you see this beautiful building you want to download, but you don't have one of the packs. If you can, you're probably going to get that pack. So that's the other thing too, is people, it's that fear of missing out. Like, I want to get this thing, but I can't get it. I need to get that expansion pack that I'm missing. So
we'll see. I mean, it's going to take a few months. We're going to see if no matter who's in charge of what, just know I'm getting your stuff for free.
Well, Neos, if you want to know where to get stuff for The Sims 4, I know where to look.
Oh my goodness, here we go. The piracy, y'all are going to get it taken down.
No, but I don't. I buy it all.
She buys it all. She got you covered, Neos. She's got you covered. I'm joking with you.
I just know where you can get it.
No. I know the hookup.
So, I mean, yeah.
I don't see Neos as a Sims player, though. I don't see him as a Sims player. He's more like he's a Rainbow Six. He's a Rainbow Six guy. Which
just not something I've played.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good. I've watched him play. He's really good.
I mean, I do play other games too, but Sims has definitely been my go-to game for so long. And even the very first computer game I remember playing on a computer, like a home computer, not a school one, was SimCity. So, I mean, I've been a fan of Maxis since '89. So,
So I think you're getting more. I think you're getting more. If there's some anxiety in the community, and maybe like I said, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think if it's something that prints money,
mhm.
you're just going to put all your resources through because the return on investment's so high,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what you look at. It's just like
That's why I'm not super worried. I'm kind of in that wait and see kind of mode. Like there could be some good things, there could be some things that we don't like. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So
yeah, I think I actually, if you're a Dragon Age fan, I think what you're looking at is like potentially they sell off Dragon Age, right? A lot of people forget that a lot of times when these things happen, you cut the fat. That doesn't necessarily mean employees. Sometimes you're just like, let's get as much for this IP that we can. And I could see Dragon Age going to somewhere else as well.
I could maybe see a new Plants vs Zombies game coming out. I mean, I've gotten that on my iPad a couple of times and played it on the, I think it was on the Wii. I don't remember now, but I really like Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, I think they're obviously looking at there's something that they can do with streamlining cost, right? So, and I think Sims is a great use. Sims and like Candy Crush to me are very similar because like once you kind of like you can train the model to be like, you can train the AI to say like, there's enough iterations of it that there's a lot of things to train it on, right? And because y'all are so used to already buying DLC and what, like it's just easy. Sims gets a 60% return on investment. For every dollar, we get $1.60. So obviously the thing is to do, let's give it $100 and it'll give us $60. Like that's what you would do on that. But the other ones, if it's something that's barely breaking even, if it's something that's not breaking even, that's where you're talking about like changes and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that Sims is one of those things that you could take to mobile, Plants vs. Zombies, any of those things that are just like low lift. They get you a great return on investment. You're going to then say, okay, how do we get this to the next billion people?
Like, I think the pea shooters from Plants vs. Zombies have looked the same in every version of Plants vs. Zombies. There's not really a lot of innovation on them. Like, they might have new characters added, but it's the same old ones over and over again.
Yeah. And you're going to see the changes. You're going to see the changes in Sims relatively fast. I think you're going to see that in the next 6 months. Like, that's not going to be like a Microsoft 2 years later, we see a price increase. That's going to be a pretty fast.
You know what? There's an interesting thing that happened though, because just probably a week before this announcement that they're buying it, the Sims team decided to say that they were going to be holding off on any new expansion packs for a while. We don't know how long that is. And instead, they were going to concentrate on fixing major bugs in the game. And so that's what they're doing right now. And then like the only thing coming out is the little kits, which they get tons of money on those because lots of people buy them. And they're really easy to make because it's no gameplay. It's just clothing or build items. And so that's where their income is coming from for the next like 4 months, probably, is just going to be spamming us with kits.
Yeah.
But I find it really interesting how they made that decision, that announcement right before this other announcement about EA being purchased. So I wonder if they knew something internally that they...
No, I don't think they would have known. I don't think they would have known. From what I understand, this deal came about really quickly. But I don't think they would have known. Whatever they're going to announce. So I guess what Rebecca said at PAX,
Zalek, I think.
Or what did I say? Rebecca?
Yeah.
No, Zalek, whatever Zake said. I'm more of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic shooters and RPGs and story modes. Huh. I wouldn't have got that from you, Neos. Yeah, I think we'll see. But I know like Silver Lake moves fast. They are on the clock. $20 billion. They got to show something quick. So that's why I think you are going to see some massive layoffs. And you are going to see like whoever they put in charge, who's going to be the new head. Like I have a hard time seeing someone other than Bobby Kotick coming through. But obviously they're going to put someone in charge. And yeah, we'll be tracking it. We'll be tracking it on the channel.
Yeah. I mean, I follow Sims news very closely, so if there's something that comes out about the Sims, I usually know about it within hours. So
I need to get more. I want to get more Sims news for you though. Like, and I didn't want it to be this one. I want it to be like an actual Sims one.
There's a new expansion pack today. So new expansion pack day. Very fun. I can't wait to play some more of it. I felt one.
Do they do release trailers for the expansion packs?
They do.
Okay, well, I'll have that. So, I actually have one more trailer actually right now for everybody. I have not an expansion pack trailer, but I do want to show Join Us. Zalek was asking about this earlier, so I did get it. Can you wait with us, Rebecca, and watch Join Us with us?
Sure.
Okay, I have not seen this, so this is Join Us, the official reveal trailer. Here we go.
You know, intelligent human beings should realize that everything has their season. Planet Earth is about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive is to join us.
I don't know. I just was watching. I was like, "Oh wow!" Like we were just talking about like sim. It kind of had like a simulator vibe to it. Yeah, but I think survival cult recruiting mechanics. Yeah, I think that's what I like. It started off, and I was like, "Whoa!" It's kind of like a horror, and then I saw it, and I was like, "Ah." Would it be wrong if I said I kind of am interested in that? Like just to see like what
I kind of want to see how it works. I want to see somebody play it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm looking at. I was like, I haven't seen this, but I'm willing to give it a try. I thought it was like, I was like, Sims GTA Fantasy Survival. I think I'm not gonna lie. I saw a little Orcs Must Die in there. I
was laughing at them riding the pig.
Oh yeah, I saw some stuff in there that I was like, okay, like I can recruit. I can do that in Orcs Must Die, by the way. And you shoot things and you're going places. It seems like a little bit of Age of Empires. You know, like I can see coming to $34 Game Pass. It's $34?
In Canada.
Oh my goodness. How much is the game though? See, that's the thing. I would just buy the game. I like the big. It looks funny. Yeah, I don't know. Neos is like, Neos, why do you care? Why, Neos? You're gonna pirate the game. Why are you caring? You're like, I'm gonna steal it anyway, but it better be 20. You're like I don't get it. Internet of Games, the project at Eden's Gate 2 years before Far Cry 5. Oh my god, I was thinking Far Cry 5. Well, what's going on, Marcus? I know it's early over there, but yeah, I don't know. Is it coming to Switch? Is it coming to Switch or is it just PC? Is it coming to Switch? It's just a PC game. It'll eventually make it to Switch. Not yet, though. Okay. Well, thank you, Zalek, for sharing.
It's so funny though that you talk about Switch with like PC games.
I know.
So used to like you not getting the high graphic games.
But I'm looking at the game. That looked like it could run on Switch too, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Looked like it could run on Switch too. Like, I don't know. I Switch, I can play more with Switch. That's all I say. Like with PC, I got to come down here, and it's just like some days I just don't feel like coming down here.
There's a reason why I have a laptop and a desktop computer.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I could see myself being upstairs and like dabbling in it. It's the same thing with I put that game in the same game category as Hotel Architect. Like, there are games that I could see myself getting into from a game loop standpoint.
It actually reminded me a little bit of The Sims Medieval too, especially when you're looking for converts to the cults. The Sims Medieval had 2 religions, and you were supposed to try to get as many people, depending on which one you're playing, you try to get as many people to join your religion as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I like, because you had an action element to it, right? We could shoot with our cult. That's why I was saying it has like a little bit of Orcs Must Die.
Yeah.
Is it multiplayer?
Somebody said it was co-op. Yeah, Zalek said it's co-op.
Wait, is this going to replace our Orcs Must Die? You know who I could see playing this? SPG. I see him playing this. I like it. Online co-op, single player, LAN co-op.
Well, because I've played the occasional with the called survival game. Like, no, The Sims Medieval does not have woohoo cults. They praise the Watcher, who is the player.
Oh my goodness! Note from the developers.
Yeah, I played Nightingale for a while. I played Valheim. Granted, what other game did I play? I can't remember. We're playing Dune right now.
My good. Oh, we had Doom news. Studios let go of some people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was actually the news that just came out right before I either saw that right as I came home. Like Doom, the game is called Dune.
V Rising, yeah.
Dune Awakening.
Yeah. It just had its first DLC come out.
Yeah.
Like last week.
If you look up Dune Awakening, Funcom laying off staff. Yeah, I actually did have that news. I'm still playing Dune. Well, they're being laid off, Zalek. Oh, some of them. But that's not I'm not going to say that's cause for concern. Like a lot of times I don't know who they're laying off, but a lot of times that does happen after a game launches. So
Because I think you don't need as much staff for like DLC as you do for like the
Yeah,
whole
for
base
live
game.
service, you don't like not at all. Yeah. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So the games that I play with Granite tend to be like the survival type games. I build.
I've never played Valheim.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Is it?
It's the graphics aren't like fantastic, but it's kind of low poly from what I'm used to in other games. But it's but it's like you cut down trees and you build houses, but you can build like fantastic houses,
So
castles, towns. You can build anything, and they still don't like it. I think it's still in early access. It's not even in like the full game yet, and they've had so many updates. We got it right at the beginning, so we haven't played any of the updates really since they added one new biome, and there's been like 3 or 4 added now. So
I'm trying to see if there's a survival game with good graphics. You said not good. I'm like, I haven't seen a survival game with great graphics. So it doesn't surprise me that the game
Dune
in the game is
Awakening
built.
Dune Awakening has really good graphics. Like I can't play it on my laptop because my 1650 like RTX 1650 card doesn't really work.
You're right. Dune Awakening is solid graphics. You're right. You're right.
That's
I stand corrected.
that's part of the reason why I have a brand new Alienware desktop computer down here. So
You're about to buy the Witcher trilogy, Neos. That's what Isomotion Gaming is playing. Cool. So Dune has inefficient graphics. I think that's what Rebolica was just saying. But it's better than most. Like I can tell you're in
stand
Dune.
effects are amazing in Dune. But my poor laptop, it just can't handle it. So I either come downstairs. So I'm in the basement just right now. This is where my
I'm in the
computer is.
basement.
Um,
I'm in the Shades of Purple studio.
yeah.
That's right.
Well, behind my green screen is my sewing machine. So
My mom's sewing room is like over there somewhere.
and over to this side is like the washer and dryer. So yeah, I'm in the basement and I have a little studio set up here. It gets cold though, so sometimes this robe actually serves a purpose.
Well, that's what I was looking at. I was like, I couldn't tell if you were like getting cooler or if you were doing the cut, but I was like, I think it's probably serving 2 purposes.
Yeah, no, I have a blanket. Well, it's a towel, but it's big enough to be a blanket, like a beach towel. And then I actually brought like a wrap down here with me in case I got cold. But
We're about to be. It was in the 50s today, so I can see in like a month it's going to be a little bit where I had to put my sweater on.
and my Alienware computer, I think the video card is a 4070.
Yeah, you said it was a 4070, right?
Yeah, it's so it's like last year's model. I think it's a 15. I don't remember everything on it, but actually no, I'm getting cold down here right now. Like it's only well, it's cold outside. And it's a finished room, but there's no like space between the concrete. Like it's just got a really thin vinyl floor. So it gets cold in here, which is great because when I'm gaming it gets a little too hot.
She got a solid card. In that, thanks to the family, Granite, and so forth, for Mother's Day, got her the upgraded PC.
This was my birthday present.
Oh,
My new headphones.
What are they?
They are Logitech, but they're wired.
I'm using wired.
Yeah, I mean, I don't often get up when I'm down here. If I was upstairs, upstairs I have Bluetooth because I'm always getting up from my computer to do stuff. But down here, I don't need Bluetooth. So,
allow me to do both.
And I mean, it has a built-in microphone, but I'm probably never going to use it because I've got this nice one. This nice one that I won from John Scar Gaming.
Ah, John Scars.
Like, how many years ago now?
Is that what type is it?
It's a Bumblebee.
Oh.
2, I think. Bumblebee 2, yeah.
John
And I've
Scar's
got it
such a
on
good
a...
guy.
Yeah, he had a Twitter contest. So
He's such a good. Yeah, I've always wanted to interview John Scars, but I think right as like we were trying to plan it, Stadia shut down, and I just never got around to it.
And he doesn't really do streaming or anything anymore.
He does. He still does articles for Cloud Dosage.
Yes,
I've read his articles, but I haven't. I don't think so. I think when Stadia shut down, I think that was part of his. I think he closed a chapter.
Yeah. And you know what? I always think about this for Stadia. What was that game? The one that didn't work on PCs when it came out. It really only worked on.
Oh yeah, the one that I feel like Stadia's game of the year. We got a game of the year before Microsoft. You're talking about Baldur's Gate.
Actually, no, that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Oh no, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk, I thought that was a missed opportunity there because I didn't play it, but I could see how like it worked on Stadia and it worked on like PlayStation. That was it. Like, could have really run with that and gotten a lot more people interested in Stadia if people knew about it. But
I think Cyberpunk was a great case study that like, okay, it didn't run well on PlayStation either because they had to refund people.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it ran really well on Stadia. There's like no bugs on it. And I thought the use case for Stadia was very strong. Like, right. As far as the idea, and maybe that's a good thing we're talking about it because it's the anniversary stream from 3 years ago. I think, like it worked. And I think a lot of people said, oh yeah, it could work, but you don't have the library, right?
But like when I was, so I'm in the Sims community and the Sims wasn't on Stadia, but nobody heard of it in the Sims community. Like it just was not even on their radar. I'd say something like, oh, this game's on Stadia. And people are like, what's Stadia?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I think there was some letting people know that was up. But I also feel like if you had a PC or you had a console or you had something else, you're going to be reluctant to move from that. Like, you know what I mean? The game I think about that is City Skylines. That's a game that you kind of need a lot to run on, right? Depending on what you're doing in that. So, and Stadia ran that beautifully.
Yeah.
I just feel like it didn't match up with their business model but the technology worked 100%. The technology worked. And that's why I always feel like if someone were like, oh, I want a cloud gaming, like if cloud gaming were to ever take off, and I guess from Luna, we can see that it's not really taking off. The technology's there.
Well, that's the thing too with going back to The Sims. There's this Project Renee. Nobody knows much about it other than that it is cross-platform. And I'm like, oh, is it going to be like a cloud game then that you can use your same save? Doesn't matter if you're on your phone or tablet, PC, console. Like nobody really knows. There's no information other than this. It's this cross-platform game that you can play anywhere. So I don't know.
We may never know. Adoption could take 3 to 5 years as you need to wait for people's computers to get old. Yeah,
my computer was already old at the time.
I mean, I agree. Like adoption. So I was talking to Corinne Yap. She's the one who used to be in charge of she used to be in charge of what games came to Stadia. And I got to actually talk to her, maybe a few months after Stadia's closure. And she's very optimistic about everything, basically. But she was just saying exactly what you said, Granite, that it took their roadmap was literally 4 to 5 years. They said that as far as the library, they're like, you need 4 to 5 years to build up a library. And their whole thing wasn't so much, we're going to win this generation. Their whole thing was, we're going to prove a proof of concept for next generation. And therefore, those people who are like, oh, I don't want to buy a new PlayStation 5, because the people who got a PlayStation 4 to 5 or Xbox Series X, or maybe they upgraded their PC, they may have been skeptical now, but then that next generation, they would have been like, wait a second, there's only so much I'm getting better at. Let me try this other thing. That was their strategy initially. So,
Well, what I liked about Stadia was my old computer, which I still have down here. Actually, it's like a footstool, and it's underneath my desk. But it was so old that my video card was a 570, not 55, 570. So like, I couldn't even play Valheim on that computer. Like, and Valheim doesn't have very high graphics requirements. I couldn't play The Sims 4. I mean, I could, but I'd have to have everything. I couldn't play it now. The requirements have gone up. I couldn't play The Sims 3 on that computer. So, yeah, I don't want to pay $30 for Game Pass, but Stadia is $12. But there was games on Stadia that I liked. Not a lot, but there were some. Like,
that was Stadia Pro, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, actual Stadia was like, if you just wanted to buy the game, right? That was Stadia Pro was the more money.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was just the game, that was it, right? I didn't make that up, right? That was it. Like, if it was just the game.
Yeah. Well, I played, there was a racing game that we played every weekend. Granite and I, and like there's a whole group of people that would play, and I could play it on my computer, even though I like couldn't play it on my computer, right? Like,
Yeah.
I could open up a browser window and play it. So,
I mean, I thought, Stadia brought me back to gaming. Like, I would not probably be gaming if it wasn't for Stadia. And
yeah,
I just
yeah, Sunny Gaming. There was like a game that I really enjoyed. One Hand Clapping was the one where you had to sing and do like rhythm stuff and things. I thought that was a lot of fun. I'm not bad at singing, so I found it actually kind of easy. So my problem was more the jumping part of it. I'm not so good with platformers, but
I do remember that game. I mean, I thought, like I said, I thought they had a very solid mix of games. I thought they had decent partners. And I enjoyed it. Like, I every month, and I had Stadia Pro, every month there was at least one game that I was like, oh, that's actually a cool game.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the ability to play down here up at my TV.
I couldn't play on my phone because I only had I have a little tiny 4-inch iPhone, so the screen was too small. The touch area was too big, and I would miss the buttons. But so I couldn't really play on my phone. So,
no, but if you got a new phone, you probably could have to a degree. But well, I don't think it's
got a new phone. It's the same size.
Oh,
I have small hands, so bigger phones are hard to hold. So
I would have to ask Cowboy was always playing it on his phone. I didn't when it first came out, there was the whole like what is it called? It was like a Chromecast. And you would have to stream it to your phone and cast it to your TV. And so that's the only time I guess I was playing on my phone, but I really was.
Well, they did. They came out with like an iPhone app later on.
Yep, they did.
So,
and they came out with a Google TV app. So I have Google TV, and so like it had the ability to, like I said, I could be playing here and then play on.
We still have Chromecasts on all our TVs. It's like we have like 5 TVs with Chromecasts on them.
Every Stadia player is 1 in a 2 million. It's not even 1 in a million. I never played one in cloud. I remember it. I mean, I just remember they had. I guess what I was just amazed at Destiny. I was like, how is this free? Like Destiny. There were so many games where I was like, wait, I just click this, I'm playing. But it just was remarkable to me that I could go to Stadia.com, play it here, and then log on to Stadia on the TV, and it would pick up with what was on here, like the exact frame that was on here.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was just, or I could go to at the time my mom lived in Texas, and I could go there, or my brother was like, hey, I want to play Mortal Kombat. And I was like, oh, let me just get your Gmail account and buy you the game. And now he had Mortal Kombat. I thought that was like he didn't need a console. All I needed to do is get him a controller and he's playing it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like crazy. It still is crazy. What am I talking about? It's still crazy. Even though I think Nintendo in some ways has like satisfied my gaming needs, but yeah, that was, man, it was a good time. It was a good time.
I always feel like it was like ahead of its time. Like none of the streaming like cloud gaming services that we have now are compared to it.
No, I mean we've talked right. We have Steam, which you can buy the game on Steam, but you have to pay GFN a fee. So I would say with Game Pass going to 30, I think, and if Steam stays out, I forget what Steam is. Is it 20 in the US? I don't know what it is. I think that's a unique deal, but the problem with that is you still have to pay for the subscription to get, unless you do the free tier of GFN, you still have to pay the subscription to get your game, which I never liked that about GFN.
Well, right now GFN's not much better than my computer, so
okay. Oh geez.
So no, I mean, but I can with Steam, I can stream from my desktop computer in the basement onto my laptop upstairs, and it mostly works.
So it's like remote play.
Yeah, it says stream, but it's remote play.
So that's not. Yeah, I think Steam. Could you do it, but it has to be the same Wi-Fi?
I'm not sure, actually. Granite would know better than me because I only use it for the one game so far. Everything else I just play directly on my laptop.
Yeah. When it comes to with Luna, I guess the last time I played Luna was I was playing Far Cry. Ooh, it starts off with
Stadia was better than remote play. Yes. But I have that option. It says Stadia is better than remote play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Stadia was I'm trying to think. Game Pass is not at Stadia's level. I'll say that. I think one thing that he left, and I do want to come to this. One thing that kind of makes me nervous about this right here. Let's see if we can do it like that. Is what it says here about this Game Pass thing. It says unlimited cloud gaming. Right? It says or unlimited cloud gaming with shorter wait times for the premium. And then you have another one, unlimited cloud gaming, and this is ultimate tier at best quality with shortest wait times. That's what makes me nervous about Game Pass's cloud gaming, because are they going to eventually say you're limited to cloud? Or you don't, they're going to start putting a time, or it's you have to wait to do it?
Does GFN still have the free tier? I used to do the where you'd have to wait, and then you got like an hour of time to
I
play.
think they do. I think they do. They still have the free tier. They have like 3 tiers, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess to our point about like Stadia, like that, Stadia was like instantaneous.
Yeah.
That was what was crazy about it. It was like, it was so smooth. It was like such a smooth, seamless process between buying the game. It was almost like you buy the game, it says, takes your credit card information, and then it says, okay, play the game, and you're done. It's all like in the same UI.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, I mean, Luna has it, like you still have to go somewhere else. Like, right, Ubisoft, which I kind of like you can play your Ubisoft game, your PC Ubisoft games on Luna. But to play COG, you still have to go somewhere else, then you have to come back in. You don't really favor cloud gaming. No, Neos, that's where this channel started. We started off as a Stadia gaming channel. And
I mean, Stadia was great if you had good internet.
Yes. Or stable internet. Stable internet,
which we didn't always.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems with our internet around that time. So actually, we still have problems with our internet frequently. But
they limit the pay tiers to 100 hours. But has anybody ever tested that?
I mean, I could go through 100 hours. If I had The Sims on it, I'd go through 100 hours in a month.
I bet you could, yeah. I'm thinking the last games that I really would have pushed that limit would have been X Defiant. X Defiant would have pushed it because I was playing that a lot.
Pirates can't sail the cloud seas.
That's another thing. I think that's probably why Neos didn't. That's the thing. A lot of pirates in a lot of you couldn't cheat, right? Like it was very hard to cheat because you couldn't distort the memory because it's not on your thing. So I think a lot of people didn't like it for that.
Well, that's interesting. That's one thing with The Sims is that mods don't work on the console versions of The Sims. And so when they have all these kits and everything that come out, people who have computers are like, oh, well, I can just get that CC. I can just download it. But then there's other people who are like, but I'm on console. I can't download custom content. I want these kits. I want to add stuff to my game.
And that was one of the criticisms is that how do you do? But I also think like, had it picked up, would there have been a way to do that? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think I would have saved a lot of money. I probably would still be playing on Stadia. Just because it satisfied my gaming needs.
Mm-hmm.
It was the internet for you. Yeah. Yes, I could totally understand. Like, I'm not here to. Yeah,
Stadia didn't have The Sims.
They didn't have The Sims. They did not, but they had EA as a partner. I think
they did. They had a lot of EA games on there, but just not the ones I was playing. So
true.
Well, I did play stuff on Stadia. It's just I was also playing The Sims, so
yeah,
it's like I didn't play Stadia as much as I would have liked to have because I was playing stuff they didn't have. So
yeah, I'm not like I think when I look back, the library was very limited. It'd be interesting where it'd be like today, 3 years later, especially as they were adding like 200, 300 tiles a year or not. If they would have made the deal with COG, if they would have like expanded their partnerships with EA or
if they've had Anno, I really like the Anno games. If they
never played those are the Ubisoft ones, right?
Yeah, I think they are. They're like the ships, and you have to build up like a thriving community or whatever. And if they'd had like Anno games on there, I would have played those. So
yeah,
I love the Anno games. Even if they'd gotten like classic games, like say like Myst or something like that, I would have played those too.
I think those would have, like I said, I think it took. I mean, it really started to pick up at the end of 2019. So it had like It shut down 2020, basically 2.5 years. It's basically what it had, less than 3 years. So where would it have been with another 3 years? I don't know. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. It was very easy to use.
And I think if they'd stayed around, maybe the other cloud gaming services would have been better, like trying to compete better.
Yeah, for sure. Microsoft has almost gotten. I mean, I know for a fact xCloud was trying to race to catch Stadia. Luna has basically flatlined. Like they
Mhm.
didn't do anything else. GFN has like increased their tier, but that was always GFN's thing. No, I think Stadia's biggest issue was its library, but I thought its features were really cool. I thought the ability to put the link into YouTube and start playing. I thought that was like kind of cool. I thought the part like their whole party system, like I thought that was cool. I thought they were doing just a lot of cool stuff and
I liked all the cool little party games and things, like the
yeah,
little and like the strategy games and things, like the smaller games that came out were the ones that I was more interested in than like the big name games. Because all the big name games were all a lot of them were like shooter games that I'm not really interested in.
yeah. No, I think you're right. Like, I mean, that's how I got. But to be fair, that's how I got into Orcs Must Die. Like
Mhm.
Stadia had Orcs Must Die, and
I watched Granite play that.
Orcs is cool. We play on. And by the way, I may not be around Saturday.
Cake Bash, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cake Bash was a fun one. That was a Stadia Pro game.
Yeah, I played it a
Um,
few times.
I actually really liked that model where if you claimed it on Stadia Pro, it was in your library. I really like that. Uh, so if we have been getting my library would have been like 400 games, 500 games.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
The game is
Us,
just a link.
GeForce Super Network will be very important in global esports tournaments heading into 2030. So I'm glad Marcus is always in the future. I would also say I enjoy XFi. Yep. It felt like a break from. I liked it in EOS. That's the only shooter I've really played. Cake Bash. Yeah, the game is just a link. It was just a link, man.
I like that winemaking one. I can't remember what it was called.
Winemaking simulator.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Um,
They're big fans of Stadia.
yeah. Oh yeah, they got interviewed by
Ninja
John
Guy
Scar.
or
Ninja Guy,
John.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the two of them together. Yeah.
No, I mean Lamote. That's where I met Lamote.
Yep.
Okay, I was able to connect with Lamote on that one. Michelle and Kyle.
Oh, the two-player Lumote has a purple Lumote now.
Really? I have Lamote on every platform. And I have not played it. I haven't played it. I should play it. I should go and play it on Switch here.
Yeah, if you play the
Play later in
two-player version, the second player is purple.
Oh, I'll go play it. I'll go play it here recently. But thanks for stopping by, Neos. What time is it? We'll shut it down we'll shut it down here in a little bit. I just realized I gotta go to the physical therapist tomorrow. So
Yeah, I have to take the kids tomorrow morning. Get them ready for school and out the door.
oh my goodness. Oh, super. Well, Rebecca, let people know where they can find you. And
Yeah, so I'm on Twitch. My name there is just Rebellica. And on YouTube, hold on a second here. Where's my mouse keeps turning off. I can never remember what my name is on YouTube.
I think
Here, I can
I think you put it on your thing earlier. There we go. I just got it. Roster just put it.
yeah,
Rebolica _ YouTube. YT.
Yeah. So the channel name is Rebellica Gaming, but it's Rebellica Rebellica_YT is the actual address. So I couldn't use just plain Rebellica because I had an account that was made before I had a Google, like a Gmail account, and I can't get into it. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's, and then I have another account that also is called Rebellica. That's what I use to watch most things. I don't stream on that one. So, but if you actually do end up on that account, it actually has a link saying, if you want to watch my stuff, here's the address. So.
And you can catch her if you're a Discord member. Every single time she goes live, it shows up on the Discord.
Yes. I don't have my own Discord, so yeah. People have asked me that. I'm just not really interested in setting that up at this time.
No worries. But if you I was just letting people know that we do have her Discord. We do have her channel, so when she goes live, pops up. Where's the link? Hey, Cowboy, what's going on? Physical therapy equals Social Security. Yeah, you're not kidding. It happens. I'm broken. It's also what 12 years of the military does. Yeah. So that's Rebecca. Well, thank you, Rebecca, for joining.
No
thank you, and thank you for talking to us about The Sims. And I think we're cautiously optimistic. I think that's the mood I would say about how it impacts the EA deal, how it impacts The Sims.
Well, I mean, that's how I'm feeling. Some other people have already stopped playing The Sims.
Oh,
they're already boycotting it.
Well, we'll see.
They're all also like in their 20s. So,
I think I said how I feel about this demographic, more than one occasion. Nintendo adopted Stadia Tech right and switched to the people who, to a degree, yes. We would have to talk about that later, Grant or Marcus. We will talk about that. But for everybody else, thanks for coming by. Hopefully you got something out of the show today. And like I said, I may not be around for Orcs Must Die this Saturday. I've been asked to go do something late Saturday afternoon, so I might be back. I might not. So I'll let you all know that. But with that said, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, the proof is in the playing. All right, take care, y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, bye. Music.